access to the Yahoo server, adding to the danger it posed to customers' privacy. Yahoo itself has been mostly mum on the matter, issuing a statement claiming that the initial reports were misleading but not elaborating at all. The NSA denied the claim outright, though they have been repeatedly caught lying about similar programs in the past. Bitcoin Not Bombs is a launching pad for nonprofits and social entrepreneurs into the financial freedom of the Bitcoin economy. Bitcoin Not Bombs offers premium publicity campaigns designed to facilitate an organization's adoption of Bitcoin as a payment system and to fully capitalize on that decision in their fundraising efforts. Bitcoin Not Bombs is fully committed to being the hub of the nonprofit sector of the Bitcoin economy, maximizing the potential cross-promotion of all our clients and commercial partners. To learn more, visit bitcoinnotbombs.com. UPI reports for weeks athletes who won Olympic medals and prize money at the Summer Games in Rio de Janeiro face the prospects of paying federal taxes on the rewards when they returned home. Not so anymore, President Barack Obama assured on Friday. The president signed the United States Appreciation for Olympians and Paralympics Act of 2016 to exempt most U.S. athletes from owing taxes on medals and money received at the international sporting events. Previously, American athletes had to give the government a cut of the value of their awards. The bill was passed by the House and Senate last month, clearing the entire U.S. Congress with only one nay vote from Representative Jim Himes of Connecticut. The only exception to the law is for athletes who make an adjusted annual gross income exceeding $1 million, such as Michael Phelps and the entire Team USA men's basketball roster. The new law retroactively applies to athletes at the Rio Games and will apply to all future Winter and Summer Olympics. Winnings by athletes at the Paralympic Games are also protected by the new law. For nearly 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and have permanently removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports Hurricane Matthew killed more than 800 people and left tens of thousands homeless in Haiti earlier this week before it skirted Florida's Atlantic coast on Friday and plowed northward over waters just off Georgia. The number of deaths in Haiti, the poorest country in the Americas, surged to at least 842 on Friday as information trickled in from remote areas previously cut off by the storm, according to a Reuters tally of death tolls given by officials. Hurricane Matthew triggered mass evacuations along the U.S. coast from Florida through Georgia and into the Carolinas. Matthew smashed through Haiti's western peninsula on Tuesday with 145-mile-per-hour winds and torrential rain. Officials said some 61,500 people were in shelters after the storm pushed the sea into fragile coastal villages, some of which were only now being contacted. At least 3 towns in the hills and coast of Haiti's fertile western tip reported dozens of people killed, including the farming village of Chantel, where the mayor said 86 people died, mostly when trees crushed houses. He said another 20 were missing. With cell phone networks down and roads flooded, aid has been slow to reach hard-hit areas in Haiti. Food was scarce and at least 7 people had died of cholera, likely because of floodwater mixing with sewage. Hurricane Matthew sideswiped Florida's coast with winds of up to 120 miles per hour, but did not make landfall in the state. The U.S. National Hurricane Center downgraded the storm to a Category 2 hurricane. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
After excitedly posting an image of a Lamborghini Rebenton to his Facebook account earlier this afternoon, 38-year-old little boy Nick Weber talked to Onion reporters about his passion for fast cars.
When I saw that car, I was like, whoa, it was so cool. I had to show it to all my friends. I like red cars the best, but only ones that are really, really fast. I can't wait to get one when I'm older. I'm going to get the fastest car in the whole world.
The Weber also frequently posts about his other interests, which include motorcycles, fighter jets, and Marvel superhero Iron Man. The nearly 40-year-old small child confirmed that sports cars are his favorite, and the picture of the bright yellow Lamborghini has already garnered 15 likes and 9 comments from other enthused middle-aged children who are friends with Weber on the social networking site.
My best friend Bradley, he sent me a picture of a blue convertible that's so awesome. It has these big wheels and even has a racing stripe on it.
After watching several online videos of fast cars and eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for lunch, the home-owning little tyke went to his room to take a nap.
This is the Onion News Network.
Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live, the live Saturday edition of the program, and you are invited to join us on the radio here. As the Clinton and Trump campaigns for president are swirling at the bottom of the toilet bowl, scraping the bottom of the barrel, I mean, can it get much worse? I suspect it can.
Just when you think it can't. I guess this is our October surprise, right?
We got a whole 4 weeks to go here.
Right. It just keeps on trucking, doesn't it?
Before the election. It was last night on the show. We were actually interviewing Nick Sarwark from the Libertarian Party.
The chairman of the
national chairman. And he actually brought the news to our attention. We had not seen it. We don't generally, keep refreshing the news while we're in the studio here. Probably should do that, but we have no producers, so we just kind of have to do everything ourselves. So kind of leave it up to you to let us know what's going on in the world sometimes. And we certainly would have seen this news later on. But he broke the news that apparently Donald Trump had a audio tape or CD or whatever, a file, released without his permission, obviously. It was recorded without his knowledge while he was on some sort of show. It was obviously some sort of production for like a reality TV show. But anyway, he was inside a bus back in 2005 talking with some Hollywood celebrity named Billy Bush and talking in a very vulgar manner about how he, some would say, sexually assaults women on a regular basis.
Yeah, that would be, well, he's certainly talking in a vulgar fashion.
Yeah, I've got some of the quotes here, which we can't really say on the radio.
They're not exactly testimony, though, right? Like he didn't have his right hand on raised and his left hand raised and his right hand in the Bible or anything like that. He's talking.
He's bragging.
He's with another guy and
with a few guys. There were a couple guys in there.
Just I don't know. I guess to me, if he practiced this behavior, this is 11 years ago, right? And
Sure.
one would presume that he's done that longer than that 11-year period. He was certainly talking about the past. He wasn't talking about the present. Mm-hmm. So somebody somewhere would have stepped up and said, "Hey, this happened to me." We're going to hear from that person relatively quickly. Yeah. If that occurred, I suspect that this is talk. I would hate to have the most vulgar thing that I've said in the last 20 years recorded and put out there right now.
I think you said it on national radio, actually.
No, I've said far more vulgar things. I've slipped up, my friend, but I've said vulgar things, you know?
Let me get to the quotes here in just a moment, since there's probably people listening who don't know really what we're talking about. We'll get into that. But also, on the other side of things, Hillary Clinton had 2,000 emails released by, again, not with her permission, by some alleged hacker, WikiLeaks being the venue for that.
Isn't it interesting that the Trump audio, which is 11 years old, was released an hour after these 2,000 emails from Hillary's the campaign head?
Oh, I didn't know which time frame.
Oh, it's very interesting. It's like the October surprise was surprised.
Yeah, I don't know who released what when. Is that like a confirmed thing?
That's what I've seen.
Okay. Well, either way, I mean, both of these candidates have some dirt on the other side, and you can expect more of that mud to be thrown here over the next few weeks.
The sides, they are dirty.
So some of this comes from BuzzFeed. I mean, there's reports about this all over the place, but there are also some Hillary Clinton speeches to some of the Wall Street folks, which she's supposedly against, right? And she reveals in there that she has a public and a private position. This is her vision of strategic governing. So there's what you say to the public, and then there's what you actually do. And so we can get more into some of the things that were seen in her speeches that some people might be surprised by. And it's hard to really decide where to start. Do you start with Trump's comments about women? Do you start with Hillary Clinton and, being an awful person? Because they're both just awful, awful people.
I love this quote from Donald Trump. Sexual pervert Anthony Weiner has zero business holding office.
Wait. When did he say this?
You don't let perverts always repeat their actions.
Well, is he talking about himself there?
I guess he is.
So, but when was he commenting about Weiner? Because
This is it's an old tweet that
because
somebody
Weiner
dug up.
recently showed up in the news again.
Yeah.
For
He just keeps on popping up.
trying to get a teenage girl to be a prostitute or something like that.
Oh, God.
So, NewYorkDailyNews.com has some of the quotes here, and I thought about dubbing the audio and deleting the offensive words from it, but I didn't do it. Grab them by the pee, Trump told Billy Bush, pee being a slang for female genitalia, explaining his not-so-subtle seduction style, according to NYDailyNews.com. He says, you can do anything. When you're a star, they let you do it. He also alleged that he...
No, they don't. No, they don't.
You don't think so?
No. You can't get away with this behavior. I don't care who you are.
Well, he also said that he would just...
Not unless your wife is a very powerful attorney that can bury all that information.
He also said that he would just walk right up to... quote, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. Just kiss. I don't even wait.
Now, some people kiss people when they meet them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, it makes it sound like he's, big old Donald Trump sticking his tongue in people's mouth, right? But he's not being inaccurate. He probably does walk up to women and kiss them. And... they probably don't think much of it because they're getting kissed, say, on the cheek with a hug or whatever. That part of it, it's just him, it's not inaccurate, I suppose.
Well, some would say that that's sexual assault, Mark. You walk up to somebody and you kiss them without permission.
When you're greeting people, and no, I've kissed people that I've greeted.
But you probably knew them before, right? Like... Kissing them was not an uncommon or unexpected thing in that case. But
no,
if you
dude,
walk up to somebody you don't know...
Some people, when they're greeting you in the greeting process, will kiss the first time. And that's not a sexual assault.
I've seen that in, the movies with some European cultures.
That's why some people do it. Because they see it in movies.
I've never seen that happen ever.
I'm sorry people don't kiss you, buddy.
No. Obviously, I kissed my grandmother or whatever when I was growing up. But as far as people meeting for the first time, that I've never seen. Now, maybe or maybe not. That's what he's talking about here. It's not really clear what the context is.
If people do it when they're meeting friends that they know from the past, then some people will do it when they're meeting for the first time. Does that make sense to you?
It seems very unusual. I can understand, I guess, why, if that's a thing that they're normally doing, that they would continue doing it.
Do you think a kiss on the cheek is ever sexual assault?
I don't personally think that it is sexual assault because I think that to liken kissing somebody on the cheek to an actual, molestation of somebody's genitalia, I don't think that would be fair to people who've actually been assaulted and molested.
I agree.
But I can also understand that it is by definition assault. An unwanted physical contact by another human being is by definition assault. Whether it's sexual or not is another question.
What if you're willing to hug somebody when, in greeting for the first time, but they hug you a little too long? That's an unwanted touching, right? Is that an assault?
No, if you've consented to a hug, then it's not unwanted.
Then you have to hug as long as the other person wants to?
No, I would say that you can break away from a hug if you want to. It'd be a little awkward.
It's awkward. All of this is awkward.
Yeah.
All this is awkward. It's not an assault. It's just awkward.
Well, by definition, it's an assault, Mark. If you kiss somebody without their approval, it's an assault. Now, if you're in elementary school, you'll probably get away with it because you don't know boundaries at that point. But as an adult, you should know better than to go up kissing people. And, it's the least offensive kind of an assault that you could possibly talk about. You're not actually hurting somebody by doing it, but it is unwanted contact. And if you did that to a cop, you'd be arrested.
Yeah, but the cop is probably not offering their arms in a hug, right?
We're talking about kissing, Mark. Toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. I've hugged cops. 855-450-3733, but I always offer to do it. You don't just go up and do it to somebody, because that's an assault. You can share your thoughts with us here, 855-450-3733, or Skype into the show at lrn.fm, 855-450-FREE. This is the live Saturday edition of Free Talk Live.
People who can afford a LASIK procedure sure are lucky. Imagine being able to throw away your contacts and glasses Imagine waking up tomorrow with 20/20 vision. Too bad everyone can't afford LASIK. Well, guess what? There's a company that agrees with you. TLC Laser Eye Centers is now offering great prices on high-quality LASIK to make it affordable for everyone. That means you get the latest FDA-approved all-laser LASIK technology for less than what others charge. And if you call right now, we'll schedule a free appointment so you can discover if LASIK is right for you. Results may vary. Call 1-800-929-5733. Even better, if you're one of the first 100 callers, ask about an extra $400 off your all-laser LASIK procedure. That's $200 off per eye. We've already performed over 2 million procedures. Let us help you. Discover how you can get the quality LASIK experience you deserve for less than what others charge. For your free appointment, call 1-800-929-5733. 1-800-929-5733.
Hi, this is Ted Anderson of the Genesis Communications Network. Over the 30-plus years I've been in finance, I can see that the world economy is now at a critical point. Unlimited money creation and runaway debt could trigger a collapse of the financial system. It's imperative that you protect yourself in case of hyperinflation or even deflation. Investment Rarities has put together a survival bag of 200 silver quarters. These 90% silver quarters are dated 1964 and earlier. Each quarter is worth almost $5. If a quarter has already reached $5, the trend is obviously on your side. These survival bags sell for $8.95 delivered. Call 800-328-1860 to order today. Not only can these quarters be used for barter in a brief period of hyperinflation, they have the potential to appreciate 5 to 10 times. Call 800-328-1860. Get one for each member of your family. Call 800-328-1860. That's 800-328-1860.
Everyone in a bustling Chinese parade is attempting to elude pursuers. Newly discovered cave paintings suggest early man was battling a lot of inner demons, and a xylophonist is shredding it. This Tuesday, FBI officials disclosed details of a disturbing al-Qaeda plot to just kick back, relax, and savor the inevitable collapse of the United States. Intelligence agencies confirmed the massive coordinated plan involves terrorist cells across the globe, training specifically to take a load off and unwind as America's political infighting, class divides, moral indolence, and environmental self-destruction gradually tear the nation apart.
Our righteous warriors will devote our time to relaxing and really soaking in the infidels' self-destruction. America's cities will be reduced to ruins. The economy will come to a standstill. And we, the Blessed of Islam, will kick back, put our feet up, and enjoy the show. It's going to be great.
This is the Onion News Network.
The three most important things you can do for Free Talk Live are: 1, share one episode a week on Facebook or in some other social networking site. 2, buy the things you buy online through shop.freetalklive.com. 3, give $5 a month to the AMP program. You likely buy all kinds of things online. Amazon is the largest online retailer. You can get what you need at the same prices with free Super Saver shipping by going to shop.freetalklive.com. Please do your online shopping at shop.freetalklive.com.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
If you enjoy LRN.FM, please contribute to your favorite shows via their websites and become an amplifier at amp.lrn.fm. That's amp.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. You're invited to join us on the radio waves. Live Saturday edition of the program here continues. Our number is 855-450-FREE. That's toll-free, and you can bring up anything that you want. That's the point of Free Talk Live, although I imagine a lot of people are talking about either the outrageous Trump comments or the most recent batch of Hillary emails that were released. All of these things hit the news late in the day yesterday, and, of course, you're welcome to join us here. Does any of this affect how you're feeling about these candidates? I mean, the argument with Trump is you already knew this about him. Right? Like, this shouldn't be a surprise. So this is just yet another example of the kind of guy that Donald Trump is. It's a little more crystal clear, although he's going to say, and he issued some sort of an apology for his comments.
I'm sorry if this offended anyone, but Bill Clinton has told me worse.
That was a summary, pretty much, of his apology. So, does that make any difference?
Sorry, not sorry.
And, of course, they're pointing out that a lot of the, like the religious right people are totally making excuses for him.
Well, no, and there's a lot of them that just have had it, though.
Oh, really?
This did it. The 11-year-old audio clip is just too much for them. They're out. I believe Paul Ryan's disinvited him to some event. Kelly Ayotte, the senator from New Hampshire, she's like, I'm just not supporting Trump anymore. They're just, a lot of these people have had enough as far as it goes. The problem is that the system in the United States is so FUBAR that people feel
effed up beyond all recognition.
Yes, feels so obligated to vote for one of these two parties that they feel like, well, what am I going to do? It's either Trump or Clinton, and they can't for a moment stop hyperventilating, breathe into a brown paper bag, and say, you know what, you could vote for somebody else.
Sure.
There will be other
There are at
candidates.
least two other choices on every ballot in the entire United States.
Is Jill Stein on all 50 states now?
I don't know if, okay. Maybe she's not on all 50. I apologize.
There's at least 3 choices.
There's at least another choice.
Gary
if not
Johnson,
two.
Libertarian, who is the 2-time Republican governor of the state of New Mexico, the most qualified individual on the ballot, if you look at executive experience, will be there for every American to vote for. And, I don't know, I would venture to say that's a better choice than Trump. It's the one I'm going to make.
Well, unfortunately, it may be too little too late for Gary Johnson. I mean, I don't know if he can garner enough press coverage to hit the polls in a way that will actually qualify him for entrance into the final debate. He's been refused
The debates
entrance.
would be really great, but it is not a requirement for him to win.
No, but it's a big help. I mean, look, the fact is...
A requirement for him to win, though, is people voting for him.
Look, the fact is when Jesse Ventura in the state of Minnesota got into the debates, it did everything for his campaign.
Agreed.
I mean, that level of exposure was essentially the linchpin for him. Our toll-free number tonight, 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. And by the way, I'm surprised if we're actually on in Myrtle Beach tonight on WRNN, but if we are, you're in the middle of a hurricane, apparently. So welcome to Free Talk Live. We're from Florida. We've been there.
It's almost blown over for them at this point.
Is that right?
Yeah. I mean, I've been keeping an eye on it.
Okay.
I was just in Charleston a few days ago.
Apparently, Lacey in Myrtle Beach says we're the only station they can pick up. Lacey, you're on Free Talk Live.
Yeah, you're the guy we can pick up. There's one other station, but I'm not sure what it is.
Sounds like the cell phone coverage isn't doing too hot either.
We can't pick you up.
We can barely make out what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm losing everything, man. I don't have no data, no nothing. But this is the only station I can hear.
Well, we're glad to provide you some entertainment while people are picking up the pieces out there.
You should have partly sunny weather tomorrow, Lacey.
All right, good to know. Lacey, thanks for the call tonight. I'm going to let you go. Barely understand you, but got enough of it to make it understandable. So welcome to new listeners, perhaps, to WRNN, because maybe the other stations are off the air.
Could be.
It's a very real possibility.
I don't know. It seems unlikely with they were supposed to have max 50-mile-an-hour winds.
Yeah, that's not
Those
really
aren't
that.
even.
That's not even a hurricane.
That's not even a hurricane. But
it's like a tropical storm.
The
maybe
eye didn't hit make landfall in Charleston. I think it might have made it north in Myrtle Beach, but it was at that point 75 miles per hour sometime this afternoon.
Now that's a hurricane, 75.
Just 75.
Just barely.
Yes, but once it hits land, then it immediately is going to start slowing down and become a tropical storm at some point.
Yep, toll-free number tonight allows you to join us. 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Kathy is in Aberdeen, Washington. You're on Free Talk Live. Hey, Kathy.
Hi.
Hey there.
Hey, I just wanted to mention that I think all these people that are suddenly so upset and so offended and all their little feelings are so hurt that Donald Trump said something, being a man, talking with a man on an entertainment-type program with an entertainment-type person 11 years ago. And now all of a sudden they're so offended by this. Why is that?
Well, I mean, it's
I guess
just,
you're not offended.
Yeah, it's just showing, who I think a lot of people already knew who he was. I mean, the suggestion that he's changed since then. I mean, does a leopard really change its spots when it comes to this kind of thing?
Perhaps. However, well, whether he has or not, I don't care, whatever. But at that point, he never dreamed, I don't believe, that he ever dreamed he would be running for president of the United States.
What do you mean you don't think he ever dreamed that? I mean, obviously he thought about it at some point.
11 years ago. She's pointing out how old this is.
Yeah, this is a long time ago. He was a man, being a man, an entertainment person with an entertainment person. That's how people act.
So how would you feel if
entertainment people?
If
Ronald Reagan had a whole history way before he ever ran for president of the United States, and that was brought up against him also over and over.
So would you be all right with Donald Trump approaching you for the first time and grabbing you down there?
I don't believe he's ever done that. I believe it was an entertainment program with entertainment people that were talking crap.
All right, fair enough. Kathy, thanks for your call tonight. I appreciate hearing from you. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE.
I'm with Kathy. I'm not really impressed by this. There are things about Donald Trump that make me not want to vote for him. That's absolutely true.
Like the fact that he supports a police state?
Well, just a variety of things. But I wonder to myself, what is the percentage of males in America that have said something that is equally as crude, not necessarily the same thing, but equally as crude as this within the last 2 decades?
Quite a few.
Yeah, and I would imagine that there's some percentage of women, too.
I hear that girls talk a lot of crude stuff with
I
one
wouldn't
another.
know. They don't spend much time talking to me.
No, they don't. But that's just what I've heard from ladies.
I've heard that, too. I don't know. Maybe they're trying to compete with the boys and how rude they can be. I don't know the answer.
Hayden is on the line in Myrtle Beach listening to WRNN. Hey, Hayden.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, you're on the air.
So, yeah, you guys were saying it wasn't that bad here, but we have no power. We're under curfew until 6 a.m., and all roads have turned into rivers.
Yeah, I hear that. I hear that there is a curfew that's on.
Hayden, if you want to tell us more about it, hang on. If you want to give us sort of the lowdown from being on the scene. I didn't say it wasn't that bad there. That was what Mark was saying. He was claiming he'd been
They don't
following
call it the low country for nothing.
The toll-free number, so flooding, even though there was quite a bit of...
I went to work during Hurricane Elena.
The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE, 855-450-3733. We'll continue, and you can join us here on Free Talk Live.
The final phase of extermination is set to commence now. And as population die-off becomes evident, you know it is the time of punishment in all that is written. The cover for mass die-off is evolution and global warming frauds, also used as false proof of their Christ. They are from the lines that were disinherited 2,000 years ago. Now they claim to be his Christ based upon blood type, DNA, and long lifespan. Go to unveilingthem.com. That's UNVEILING them.com.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow, a new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippie! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
In Survivor Max 2, School Bites, Max must scavenge through a wasteland swarming with the undead. Desperate to find the medicine he needs, he discovers a community of survivors at his former school. Has he finally found the safe haven he's been looking for, or will he discover that school bites? Look for Survivor Max on Facebook, read reviews on Amazon, and read Chapter 1 at survivormax.com.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com. You can get emailed announcements and participate in contests via our email updates list. Plus, we have a Twitter account that you can follow and a Facebook page where you can become a fan. So visit news.freetalklive.com to get news about Free Talk Live as soon as it's announced and the way you want it delivered at news.freetalklive.com. That's news.freetalklive.com.
Uncovering the secrets and exposing the lies. That's what the readers of freedomsphoenix.com get every day. freedomsphoenix.com, constantly providing the information, the real news about government policies, and the real relationship we all have with the coercive government. The real condition of the economy, innovations in technology, breakthroughs in energy, health, and computer science. Learn the truth well before it's admitted to in the lamestream media. The corporate media, nothing more than distributors of government propaganda, but now there's an alternative. freedomsphoenix.com. Constant news updates on the issues that affect your life in the most important ways. With liberty and property under constant attack, freedomsphoenix.com provides the understanding behind the propaganda, and it encourages the participation of its readers. Go to freedomsphoenix.com. That's freedoms with an S, phoenix.com. freedomsphoenix.com. The revolution between the ears has already happened.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
It is Free Talk Live, and you can join us here. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Skype username, if you want to join us on Skype, is lrn.fm. Of course, you can take control of the airwaves. You can bring up anything you want. People want to talk tonight so far about Trump and the hurricane. And both of them.
Big news, both of them.
Yep, both of them a lot of people have opinions about. So we'll take those calls and, of course, anything you want to discuss as well. Also, I want to let you know about our on-demand listen line, which you can dial up 641-793-9660. And you can listen to Free Talk Live as well as some of the other great LRN.FM shows. There's close to a dozen of them available to you there, and it's free as long as you don't have to pay for long distance. So if you've got an unlimited long distance plan with like your cell phone provider,
like almost every cell phone provider
these days, it's very common to have that. If you have to pay for long distance, you probably don't want to call this number. But if you get free long distance,
you need to look at your plan if
then,
you're playing for long distance.
Well, sometimes there's people that just have a plan that they've had for years and they've never updated.
There are people out there still renting phones from AT&T.
Like landline phones.
Landline phones from the 60s.
That's
back
true.
When you couldn't own them.
So anyway, you can dial up 641-793-9660, and you can also leave us a voicemail there. So if you're listening to us there, on demand, you can listen anytime you want. And you feel like you want to respond to something we said or share some thoughts with us, but you can't call in live, just leave a voicemail. You can hit 0 anytime you want while you're listening, and the voicemail prompt will come up. You leave a message, and that'll appear in our email boxes. Let's go back to your phone calls and thoughts. We had a young lady on the line from Myrtle Beach. She dropped off the line, but we do have Dwayne, who's on in. Tell me if I'm pronouncing this one right, Dwayne. Einor, South Carolina?
Einor.
Welcome.
Einor.
You're on the air.
About 30 miles inland from Myrtle Beach.
All right. Go ahead with your thoughts. Go ahead.
Well, I just want to let you guys know it was a lot worse than we thought it was going to be.
Really?
And especially inland here. I mean, we got...
I wouldn't have expected you to experience much at all at 30 miles in. Go ahead.
Well, it wasn't bad until 2 this afternoon, and then all of a sudden the wind shifted on the backside of the storm, and the winds went up. I know they must have been. I mean, I don't know for certain, but I've been through 2 major hurricanes in my lifetime, and I know this was as strong as Hugo was where we are. And I know they must have been 80 or 90 miles an hour because trees are down everywhere.
Wow.
You had 80 or 90 mile an hour winds
on the back
30
side
miles
of
inland?
Wow. Yes, on the back side of the storm.
That's not getting reported anywhere.
And it's not only here, it's Florence. I don't know if you know where Florence is.
Florence is way inland.
Yeah, and they're totally in the dark. They've had trees down everywhere. And I mean, it's a lot worse than it's being reported, let me tell you.
Well, I
They
appreciate
may not know it yet, but
I appreciate that. Now, are you guys dealing with a curfew there? Because the lady that was on said there was a curfew. Is that statewide or just city by city?
City by city.
well, I don't know. Nobody can get down our streets because there's a 100-year-old oak tree across the street from me, and it's completely over the road. And
You don't
then
have a chainsaw?
I had a huge pine tree to fall out of my yard, and it's over the next street. And no, I'm too old to be out with a chainsaw.
I got I got a one word for you here, Husqvarna, or get a still.
He's too old for it, Mark.
Just teasing.
Hey, Dwayne.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here in the dark with no lights, no water.
Wow.
And I can only get you guys, which I listen to y'all a lot of times anyway, But I would never call usually, but.
Thanks for the update.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. It's always good to hear from people on the ground as to what's
Well, I
really
just thought I'd
going
let
on.
you know. I just let you know that it's a lot worse than it's being reported.
All right. Well, at least you're not freezing out there, so I mean that's
No, that's good. Yeah.
I'm actually surprised. I have been paying close attention to the the storm there in South Carolina.
Yeah, you got a good paddle in here on the air.
I haven't. I haven't heard any of this. I mean, all day I've been paying attention to this. I've been watching webcams.
Well, we are.
Everybody's too involved with Trump at the moment, so we're not getting a lot of attention.
Well, we're one of the few syndicated shows will actually, take calls from folks anywhere about absolutely anything. And
well, that's what I enjoy about you guys.
Thanks, man. Hey, Dwayne, enjoy your night as much as you can in the dark there.
Well, I'm going to bed. I didn't sleep much last night. So.
All right. Thanks for the call. I appreciate it.
All right. Y'all
Yep.
take care.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Toll-free number here tonight, 855-450-FREE. The power's out. People are listening on radios, like the old days where you get the old battery-powered radio out and turn that sucker on. Most people don't ever have an excuse to do that, so I guess
I'm
it's
just
cool.
thinking, Tractor Supply, I was in there just yesterday or the day before, and they've got a new line of chainsaws that look pretty good and don't cost so much, too. So
I'm sure that's not really going to do anyone any good at this point. You either have the chainsaw in South Carolina or you don't.
Yeah, well,
Odds are good Home Depot's all fresh sold out of chainsaws right now.
You've
would be my
either
guess.
said a few dirty things in your life and you got a chainsaw, or you don't.
Toll-free number tonight, 855-450-FREE. Let's continue here. We'll go to William, listening in Georgetown, South Carolina. You're on Free Talk Live. Hello, William.
Hey, y'all.
Hey there. You're on the air.
I just got to say, this hurricane has hit us hard. That last guy had it completely right, because I'm like 16 miles in from Myrtle Beach. I have no power. I'm listening to this old rickety radio, listening in on your conversation about Donald Trump, and it's just making my night because I'm sitting here by candlelight.
Wow. You're out, too.
How many? What did I see? Like 1 million people out of power? Not that you would know. I mean,
Like, my neighborhood is completely, black. There is no light.
Wow.
Was it this bad in Charleston, or is it just that Myrtle Beach got slammed?
Charleston is devastated. They have flooded roads. Their windows, everything is gone. Facebook has been popping with it.
Now, you still have internet access?
Huh?
You still have internet? You still have your smartphone still working? Like, how are you getting updates? Is it from? I mean, you said Facebook, so you must have internet access still, right?
Yeah, on his phone.
I have mobile data, but I used it all today, so it's kind of slow. So I've been on Facebook recently.
Wow. Well, thank you for sharing that. Apparently, according to ABC News, nearly 2 million people in the state are without power tonight. So that's
I would believe it.
Pretty significant. Well, try to enjoy it as much as you possibly can. I mean, the worst of it's probably over, I would guess.
Yeah, it's calmed down a lot around here, but the devastation is tremendous.
Thanks for sharing that tonight, William. I appreciate hearing from you. The toll-free number here tonight, 855-450-FREE. Let's go to Ferris, calling from Myrtle Beach, listening to WRNN. Hey, Ferris. Ferris? Ferris in Myrtle Beach, going once. Ferris in Myrtle Beach. Ironically, he wanted to talk about Trump, and he's there in Myrtle Beach. So we'll put him back on hold. Maybe he's in a bad cell or something like that. Meanwhile, let's talk to Olivia, listening in Texas, watching on YouTube. Hello, Olivia.
Hey, Mark and Ann. I was the one who had called about asking you about Florida. I am moving out to Florida within the month, and I've been there twice, really briefly. Oh, I'm from Texas. I'm in southeast Texas, if you know where Beaumont is.
Yep. Thanks for keeping our oil fields going.
You're welcome.
So what about Florida?
I'm moving out to Clearwater, and I've been there briefly twice. I've been to Florida, so it's still hot and humid. I know that part. But I guess I want to know, as somebody who lives there, what y'all miss, what y'all don't miss, or if there's anything I should check out. I've been to Weeki Wachee to see the mermaid show. That was really cool. But
I've never been there.
Yeah, I would say that Florida's like every other place in the world. I mean, you just live somewhere, but the weather's better during the winter. Of course, all the Yankees are down, and they drive real slow and real poorly. Watch out for them turning right from the left lane and left from the right lane.
What I would say watch out for is watch out for the police. They're everywhere, but then again, they're probably everywhere in Texas as well. But I don't know. I haven't spent a whole lot of time there. I remember when I went to Texas, there were a lot of trucks. I was in the Dallas and Denton area. I didn't see as many trucks in Florida. There's really not much I miss about Florida. I've been living in New Hampshire for the last decade, and I love it.
I miss Florida when I'm shoveling snow.
Yeah, I don't really mind it that much. I'd rather shovel snow than mow a lawn any day.
I mow lawns too.
Yeah. Hey, Olivia, good luck, and thanks for the call tonight. Toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. You can join us here on the Live Saturday edition.
The following is an incredible, life-changing free offer for anyone with hearing problems who wants to start hearing everything more clearly again. We're now offering free in-home trials of a revolutionary hearing breakthrough called Listen Clear to anyone who calls this special toll-free number now. 1-800-719-2949. Call in the next 10 minutes and you'll also qualify for free shipping and free batteries for life. Listen Clear is precisely designed by top audio engineers. It adjusts to let you find the perfect way to hear everything, wherever you are and whatever you're doing. And Listen Clear is so invisible, people may not even know you're wearing it. And it's so lightweight, you may even forget you're wearing it too. Don't miss this special life-changing opportunity to hear everything more clearly again for free with a 100% free in-home trial, free shipping, and even free batteries for life. For free information, call now. 1-800-719-2949. That's 1-800-719-2949. 1-800-719-2949.
You are what you eat? No, not true. You are what you can absorb, because not absorbing nutrition leads to nutritional deficiency and degenerative diseases. Medication does not fix nutritional deficiencies, and North American soil is now 85% nutritionally depleted. That means your body is not getting the vitamins it needs from just grown foods. Introducing Protovite, the world's first and only full-spectrum protosomal supplement. Protovite is a proprietary liquid system that allows premium quality nutrients to positively affect the blood in an astonishing 5 minutes. That's rapid absorption. Then Protovite liquid continues to release sustained nutrition in the stomach, intestines, and colon over a prolonged period of time. See Protovite in action. Watch our amazing 2-minute live blood cell video today at TrueHealthFacts.com. That's TrueHealthFacts.com. Or call 502-410-3411. 502-410-3411. Protovite is nutrition you can feel. Protovite is nutrition that gets in.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, add yourself to the Shire map at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's posts pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that tenth of a calorie it takes to click on something. facebook.freetalklive.com. I love My Magic Mud. I drink a lot of coffee. I had stains on my teeth. Then I found My Magic Mud, and I was told it would remove stains. So I paid attention when I brushed the first time. My Magic Mud is black tooth powder, and the difference it made in my teeth in one application was noticeable. With 4, my teeth were as white as you normal folks out there. Please go to mymagicmud.com and buy a jar. There's 150 applications for $25. You can use Bitcoin. mymagicmud.com.
You can connect with the Liberty Radio Network via our Facebook page at facebook.lrn.fm. That's facebook.lrn.fm.
Hey, it's Free Talk Live. We're live here on Saturday night, and have a somewhat captive audience in South Carolina. Apparently, there's no other radio station on the air. I'm hoping that
I hope you people have batteries.
Yeah. Well, thank goodness for radio. I mean, really, in a time like this, radio really is something that people turn to, and I think they still know that that's where to turn when there's something serious happening. Some kind of emergency.
I mean, there was a time when every radio station would have their teams working around the clock in emergencies like this. Now, many of them are just closets running, recorded programming and that sort of thing. And I sincerely hope that radio stations, at least some of them, can step up and really become part of their community. You can use this opportunity. This is the time because, well, people can't always get TV stations, and TV stations have the same problem, staffing and that sort of thing. Radio can really connect with listeners right now.
Healthcare is all messed up in the United States. We need a healthcare system that focuses on health, not sickness. Now, of course, health insurance pays for treating sickness, but it gives you nothing for being healthy. And doesn't that incentivize illness instead of health? Well, there's a free market healthcare company that can give you freedom from health insurance. It's healthexcellenceselect.com. They give you a proactive health assessment daily and no charge 24-hour access to doctors. HIPAA has messed up medical records so much that one doctor doesn't know what the others are doing. How about a medical information card to give to EMS, first responders, the emergency room, or whatever medical professional you want? You can check them out right now at healthexcellenceselect.com. Any kind of doctor, traditional, integrative, chiropractic, acupuncture, and massage. You'll love the service and price. healthexcellenceselect.com. As we go back to your phone calls and thoughts, we got Jeff on the line in Florida. You're on Free Talk Live. Hey, Jeff.
Hey, how's it going? Appreciate your program.
Sure.
Yeah, I always like tuning into you guys.
Welcome.
The comment I wanted to make was about Hillary's emails that were released on Friday.
Yeah.
She said that she tells the public one thing, and she admits privately to big banks and other people that give her millions of dollars other things. So
surprise.
When you balance Trump against Hillary, Hillary's been a public official. Trump never has been. And I'm going to vote for Trump just because he's the lesser of two evils. And, I don't want to waste my vote. And Trump doesn't, he talks one thing, and he may do other things. But Hillary has a history of action that is illegal. I cannot, in a conscious, clear vote for somebody who does things illegal in the government and is getting away with it.
What about the other options, though? What about the Libertarian, the Constitution Party candidate, the Green Party candidate? Have you considered them?
Oh, Rand Paul, I wish Rand Paul could have hung in there.
He's a Republican.
Really my man. But we gotta look at what's going to happen to the country with the Supreme Court and other things. And to quote a politician that I know that said this recently, there will be blood spilled if Hillary's elected. That's pretty heavy duty, people talking like that.
I suspect that Donald Trump will spill a little blood, too. That's kind of the office of the president being...
They're all going to go to war.
The commander-in-chief and all. But I mean, that doesn't really sort of address the math of it. You're in Florida, right?
Yes.
What do you think the chances are that of the, what is it, 30 million people in the state, or is it? I can't
26
remember.
or something like that.
Anyway, it's a large number that you're going to be the deciding vote between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump.
Well, you know, the way that the laws and the Democrats have pushed it, I'm actually going to vote in 3 states this year, and nobody's ever caught me doing it before. Sure, yeah, you don't have to have an ID now, a picture ID. It's really easy to go vote in several states. Everybody's been getting away with it for a while.
You going to drive up there?
Oh yeah, I got a place in Florida and I got a place in another state. It's really easy to do.
That seems, I don't believe you, man. I mean, unless you live like right on the panhandle where you can easily access multiple states. I mean, come on.
You can claim more than one place as a resident and have an absentee ballot. So.
Yeah, I guess you could do absentee.
It's mail-in. And they're trying to promote all the illegals being able to vote. So you don't have to have a picture ID. I mean, it's so corrupt, and it's crazy.
Jeff, thanks for calling, sharing your thoughts tonight. I appreciate it. The toll-free number here, 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Let's continue here. We've got Jennifer. She's in Conway, South Carolina. Jennifer, you're on Free Talk Live. Are you listening to us on the radio tonight?
Yes, I am.
Welcome. You're tuned to WRNN. Go ahead with your thoughts.
Well, I wanted to report that we do not have power in Myrtle Beach and Conway. We haven't had power for a couple of hours. The roads in where I live and Burning Ridge Golf Course are practically flooded. Pine trees are laying across the road. We lost about 6 trees in our yard.
Wow.
One is on our house.
That's
Another
pretty serious.
tree is on our neighbor's. Yes, it is. And the wind was terrible the last hour and a half.
So you're backing up what the other caller said, where the end of the hurricane was actually the worst wind that he experienced.
Yes, very much so.
6 trees down in your yard? I mean, that's incredible.
How'd they come down? Did they the roots get wet and then they...
The roots. They came right up to the roots. One is a maple tree in the center of our yard.
A maple tree fell?
It sounds pretty serious.
It split right in half.
They have a huge root system. I'm very surprised.
And the pine trees in our backyard fell right over on our neighbor's house.
Gosh.
Our neighbor across the street had the same thing. So I didn't know that people thought it's over through Myrtle Beach and over, but it isn't, and it was really, really rough. We could go from the backyard to the front yard and just watch trees constantly falling, coming up.
Yeah,
that's pretty scary.
You're
And
going to be
also-
dealing with tree cleanup for a long time.
Yeah. But also, Donald Trump, this situation, I think this is the stupidest thing I've ever heard of.
Now, when
Someone to bring this up from years ago, something that he might have said in the Hollywood, and would actually put Hillary Clinton in office because of something he said, not something he did.
Well, the guy from Dilbert
Yeah.
believes he's going to get in anyway, that this isn't going to have really any
I
effect
hope so.
on
I
Donald
hope
Trump.
so, because if they put Hillary Clinton in office, we're going to have the foreign countries over here. They're going to be managing the USA, because she caters to all of them, and she's crooked, like he said.
That much is true. Of course, Donald Trump's probably crooked, too. We just don't know enough about him quite yet. Hey, Jennifer, thanks for calling and sharing your experience. I'm glad you're okay, and good luck with the cleanup. Thank you.
Why do you guys side with Donald Trump?
I don't
really.
side. I don't side with any of these people. I side with freedom, and there is no real freedom candidate in the race. The Libertarian Gary Johnson's probably the best option of the ones that are going to be on the ballot. But no, I'm not a Trump supporter, nor am I a Clinton supporter.
Oh, that's good to hear. But when I listen to you talking, it sounds like you're ignoring, you're believing everything they say about him, but you're pushing Hillary.
Oh, no.
Please, God, we don't
Please
need
take a
Hillary.
look at my Facebook page.
We got emails here from
I can't. I don't have any Wi-Fi
Right, she's
either.
she's offline, Mark.
Yeah,
She's
I
listening on
am
the
no
radio.
fan.
People in Myrtle Beach aren't doing
Okay.
Facebooking right now for the most part. Thanks for the call, Jennifer. I appreciate it. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE. That's why I was like, at the beginning of the show, I'm like, well, where do we start? Do we start with Trump? Do we start with Hillary and the emails? Because it's all bad. I mean, These people are terrible.
It's the weirdest year yet.
It is also the most entertaining. I gotta say.
Yep.
And I guess the debates tomorrow night.
The old parties, the Republicans and Democrats, they really put up their worst this go round.
They sure did, but it was purportedly the choice of the people, right? Like, people voted for these people.
Well, the people make up the parties. It's not like the parties are some weird species of animal or anything like that. Parties are groups of people. People chose Trump.
The worst. And
Clinton.
Well, I think the real good news here is that...
Ladies and gentlemen, do you think that this race would even be close if Sanders won or if Rubio won? I mean, really? Because I don't think it would.
To me, well, actually, we get a lot of calls here. Let's continue. Toll-free number 855-450-FREE, 855-450-3733. Let's go to Mark. He's in Myrtle Beach. Mark, you're on Free Talk Live. Go ahead.
Good evening. How you doing? I hope you guys can help me out.
I don't know.
I'm originally from New Jersey, and I'm down here in Myrtle Beach, and these guys talking about, I'm sitting over here in the dark. Dude, go buy a candle.
Oh, one dude did have candles.
You're still dark in the
well,
candle.
I know, but it's a hurricane. Listen, we've been out without power also. We made sure we had Cernos. We cooked over a grill from the fireplace, and we're good. But these people talking about Trump, you know what you were getting. Mm-hmm. The guy was from Ivana to Marla Maples. Now she's Melania. And the guy's a womanizer, but he's got good taste. I mean, come on. JFK didn't fool around. JFK didn't mess around with you know who. I'm not going to say. But the thing is, he's...
Yeah, you knew what you were getting into, Mark. Thanks for the call.
You knew what you were
I
getting.
appreciate it. It's Free Talk Live. We got hour 2 coming up. Join us. Free Talk Live has partnered with Amazon, the largest internet retailer. Imagine a department store category, and Amazon has it. Books, electronics, office products, furniture, jewelry, automotive, toys, clothing, sporting goods, and dozens of other categories. Now you can shop and support Free Talk Live by entering Amazon through our website. Go to shop.freetalklive.com, and Amazon will send us a portion of your purchase. You're going to do the shopping anyway, so remember to enter through our site at shop.freetalklive.com. That's shop.freetalklive.com. You've said it yourself. We need a healthcare system that focuses on health, not sickness. Health insurance pays for treating sickness but gives you nothing for being healthy. There's a free market healthcare company that gives you freedom from health insurance. They give you a proactive health assessment daily, no charge 24-hour access to doctors. Check them out right now at healthexcellenceselect.com. Any kind of doctor, traditional, integrative, chiropractic, acupuncture, and massage. You'll love the service and price. healthexcellenceselect.com. healthexcellenceselect.com.
On the second Saturday of every month, the Texas Republic Congress meets in a joint session. To learn how you can attend or become a member of Congress, visit thetexasrepublic.com. And together, we can liberate Texas.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Saturday, October 8th, 2016. Silver is trading at $17.56 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,257 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $621. Antiwar.com reports former employees of Yahoo have corroborated this week's stories about the company scanning all emails coming into the servers on behalf of the NSA, saying that the email scanner software was not Yahoo built, but actually made and installed by the U.S. government. The employees included at least one of Yahoo's own internal security team, reported finding the software on the email server and believed they were being hacked before executives informed them that the government had done it. They described the software as a broader rootkit that could give the NSA access to much more than just emails. To make matters worse, the employees say the government software was buggy and poorly designed, meaning it could have given other hackers who discovered it the same access to the Yahoo server, adding to the danger it posed to customers' privacy. Yahoo itself has been mostly mum on the matter, issuing a statement claiming that the initial reports were misleading but not elaborating at all. The NSA denied the claim outright, though they have been repeatedly caught lying about similar programs in the past. Bitcoin Not Bombs is a launching pad for nonprofits and social entrepreneurs into the financial freedom of the Bitcoin economy. Bitcoin Not Bombs offers premium publicity campaigns designed to facilitate an organization's adoption of Bitcoin as a payment system and to fully capitalize on that decision in their fundraising efforts. Bitcoin Not Bombs is fully committed to being the hub of the nonprofit sector of the Bitcoin economy, maximizing the potential cross-promotion of all our clients and commercial partners. To learn more, visit bitcoinnotbombs.com. UPI reports for weeks athletes who won Olympic medals and prize money at the Summer Games in Rio de Janeiro face the prospects of paying federal taxes on the rewards when they returned home. Not so anymore, President Barack Obama assured on Friday. The president signed the United States Appreciation for Olympians and Paralympics Act of 2016 to exempt most U.S. athletes from owing taxes on medals and money received at the international sporting events. Previously, American athletes had to give the government a cut of the value of their awards. The bill was passed by the House and Senate last month, clearing the entire U.S. Congress with only one nay vote from Representative Jim Himes of Connecticut. The only exception to the law is for athletes who make an adjusted annual gross income exceeding $1 million, such as Michael Phelps and the entire Team USA men's basketball roster. The new law retroactively applies to athletes at the Rio Games and will apply to all future Winter and Summer Olympics. Winnings by athletes at the Paralympic Games are also protected by the new law. For nearly 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and have permanently removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports Hurricane Matthew killed more than 800 people and left tens of thousands homeless in Haiti earlier this week before it skirted Florida's Atlantic coast on Friday and plowed northward over waters just off Georgia. The number of deaths in Haiti, the poorest country in the Americas, surged to at least 842 on Friday as information trickled in from remote areas previously cut off by the storm, according to a Reuters tally of death tolls given by officials. Hurricane Matthew triggered mass evacuations along the U.S. coast from Florida through Georgia and into the Carolinas. Matthew smashed through Haiti's western peninsula on Tuesday with 145-mile-per-hour winds and torrential rain. Officials said some 61,500 people were in shelters after the storm pushed the sea into fragile coastal villages, some of which were only now being contacted. At least 3 towns in the hills and coast of Haiti's fertile western tip reported dozens of people killed, including the farming village of Chantel, where the mayor said 86 people died, mostly when trees crushed houses. He said another 20 were missing. With cell phone networks down and roads flooded, aid has been slow to reach hard-hit areas in Haiti. Food was scarce and at least 7 people had died of cholera, likely because of floodwater mixing with sewage. Hurricane Matthew sideswiped Florida's coast with winds of up to 120 miles per hour, but did not make landfall in the state. The U.S. National Hurricane Center downgraded the storm to a Category 2 hurricane. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
This week, badly shaken researchers reported observing an osprey stalking, killing, and devouring an adult male lion in what is being called a massive food chain shakeup. Confirmation of the 3-pound marine bird consuming the 400-pound feline has biologists scrambling to determine the new predator-prey connections between the planet's billions of organisms.
We seem to be experiencing some sort of cross-species dietary free-for-all.
Scientists say that the killing of the healthy, full-grown lion by a typical osprey specimen has lent credibility to recent reports of a deer seen grazing on a nest of squirrels in Wisconsin, as well as a claim made by a group of Japanese fishermen who say they witnessed 300 million krill devouring a 40-ton humpback whale. In other news, NASA acquires the moon for an upcoming Kennedy Space Center exhibit. A radio DJ invites the whole town to some bullshit, and assuming the many universes theory of quantum mechanics is accurate, the review you've just seen will remain relevant in another reality for all eternity. For more, visit theonion.com/newsbeat.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live, and you can take control of the airwaves here. You can share your thoughts with us on whatever it is you want, whether it's Hurricane Trump, Hurricane Hillary, or the real hurricane that apparently caused quite a bit of damage. Mark, you opened the show saying, "Oh, it was no big deal." Well, you weren't there. And we do have WRNN, which is a great FM talk station in Myrtle Beach that airs us every Saturday night and has for a number of years, thankfully. Where a lot of our listeners are saying, oh, it was actually way worse than they were expecting it to be. Despite the relatively reported low wind speeds, some people are saying that on the back end of the storm, winds were kicking up to 80 or 90 miles an hour, ripping trees out of the ground. We've had, every caller that's called from South Carolina tonight, almost every one of them that's described the destruction in their neighborhood has been multiple trees uprooted completely out of the ground, down, across roads, into houses, trees falling into houses. Lots of damage of that sort and plenty of flooding. There's apparently a curfew in place. Not sure yet whether that's a statewide curfew or just city-based. And lots of people without power. Almost everyone calling tonight has no power as well. So they're listening on some sort of radio device.
Yes, I understand that's it's similar in Jacksonville and in northeast Florida also.
So you can call about the hurricane. You can call about whatever's on your mind here tonight. Our toll-free number, 855-450-FREE, 855-450-3733. Back to the phones and to the fun. We got Gracie. She's on the line in Myrtle Beach. Gracie, go ahead with your thoughts.
Yeah, hi. I'm in the Sockasty area of Myrtle Beach. That's on the south end. And we decided to ride the storm out. We didn't evacuate. And it hit about 1 o'clock this afternoon. Mm-hmm. And didn't seem too bad or anything, for the first hour or so. Then it kind of died down. And then about 3 o'clock, all hell broke loose.
Wow.
It was horrible. The winds were gusting, 75 miles an hour inland. So we had several of our neighbors have lost some trees, and like I said, it was horrible the way the wind was whipping around. It wasn't blowing one way; it was blowing one way, for a minute, and then the next it was just going a whole different way.
Did the eye pass over where you are?
Yeah, we're in the Sockasty area on the south end of Myrtle Beach, and then we heard that Springmaid Pier and Surfside Pier are pretty much completely demolished.
Wow.
So, yeah. So it was bad, and as a matter of fact, the winds are still bad. We lost power about 4 hours ago.
You're still out?
Yeah, we're still out. So, and unfortunately, we've never listened to y'all's program before. So,
well, welcome. Is it true that one lady called last hour? She said we're the only station on the air. Is that true?
I think so. Because I just happened to have this little battery-operated radio that I got free with our AARP membership, and it was stuck back in the drawer, and I would stuck some batteries in it, and that's what we're listening to. So,
awesome.
It's nice to have a radio when the lights are out.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's nice to have that. But anyways, like I said, it was bad. It seems to maybe be calming down a little bit now, but the winds are still gusting here.
Gracie,
so
I'm glad you're all right. Thank you for calling in, and welcome to Free Talk Live. We're on there every Saturday night on WRNN there in Myrtle Beach.
All right, and no matter what's going on with the political stuff right now, I'd much rather vote Trump than Hillary in.
Fair enough.
We're Trump people here.
So far, all of the female callers tonight have been in favor of Donald Trump.
Yeah, they don't seem to mind that.
Well, you know what? Because the majority of the American women know really deep down that that's how men talk, and if they are honest with themselves, a lot of us women, we talk just like that.
Okay, see, that's what I was
men,
saying
you
earlier,
know?
Mark. There's another lady who's confirming that there's also female locker room talk, so to
I'm
speak.
sure that there's
Oh, yeah.
the female version of locker room talk. You know, I'm certain that there is.
Oh yeah, that's human nature, and it sounds disgusting and all that, but I really think that Hillary's just milking this with everything she's got, and to try to get him to get out of the race. But
Oh, he's not getting out.
Trump knows. Yeah, I hope Trump knows that he's got his supporters behind him, and we're going to take him all the way. to the
Gracie,
White House,
thanks for
so.
calling. Thanks for sharing your experience with us here tonight,
All right.
and thank you for the call. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE, 855-450-3733. So I sent a note to the program director at WRNN just saying, hey, I don't think any of the other syndicated shows took hurricane callers throughout the day today, but we're doing that because, well, we've been through some of this stuff before. We're down from the south originally, you and I, Mark.
Have you ever been stuck without power from a hurricane?
Not for any extended period of time.
Yeah, it was out for 3 or 4 days during, I think it was Charlie.
Is that Georges or whatever
Georges. That was another one. They pile up. No, Sarasota and Bradenton have never been hit by a named storm directly, but that doesn't mean that there's not these bands that come through. I'm from a neighborhood called Whitfield Estates where the power lines run through the backyards, and so people's trees tend to be very close to them, and then zap, and they're out. So the power went out on a pretty regular basis where I was from, and we had a generator for that situation. But you're running a generator, near the house, and it's noisy, and it's not,
before we go on here
not
with the calls, since you brought up the generator thing, you did tell me before the show that apparently there have been a few deaths attributed to this hurricane, and 2 of them were from somebody running a generator in their garage. Bad idea.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. So I'm a volunteer firefighter, and I can tell you I have been in a situation where I got carbon monoxide poisoning.
Really?
Yeah, I went into a house where the wood stove had been left on all day, but it had been dampered, and the carbon monoxide built up. The fire alarm went off. We had to go in, and I felt weird the rest of the day. Now, I didn't go, I wasn't going to run up our insurance or anything like that. I figured I'd be okay. I just told my wife and said, hey, if things get worse, then, take me to the hospital. But other than that, I just felt weird and didn't feel good the rest of the day. This kind of thing can overtake you in moments.
And you're out.
And, yeah, you're just dead. Yeah. Everybody you love is going to be being like, oh, man, that was a terrible idea that they had that generator running underneath the in the garage or underneath the woodshed or whatever. But, hey, figure out some way to run an extension cord. Get that thing out of the house and out in the yard.
Toll-free number tonight, if you want to join us here, 855-450-FREE. Let's continue with your calls and thoughts. Kathy is on the line in Einor, South Carolina. Hey, Kathy.
Hi, how you doing? Thanks
Welcome.
for being there for all of us
It's
tonight.
okay. We're happy to listen. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm quite sure when old Bill had all of his girlfriends in the White House, that the same stuff that Donald Trump said, he said one time or another. That's my first thing.
Yeah,
Two,
it's possible
Hillary
he
needs
did it.
to be in jail.
Right, and there's also evidence that Bill Clinton actually did assault women sexually.
Yeah.
He hasn't been convicted. Donald Trump hasn't been convicted. There's evidence that Donald Trump did since he testified, since he's said that he did. I'm just saying, there's a lot of women that are accusing Bill Clinton of things, and they're accusing his wife of covering it up. They're not accusing Donald Trump of this. Now, it will be interesting to see if in the next week or so this causes anybody to say, hey, Donald Trump touched me in the wrong place. Or
like
whatever.
with the Bill Cosby thing where one person comes out.
Right, one person comes out and then they all come out. But then again, it could be just somebody who wants a payoff.
But
you never know.
It hasn't dissuaded you, huh, Kathy?
That's right.
All right. And how's your power situation there?
Oh, I'm in Air. I'm about 40 miles from the beach. We got no power.
Wow.
I live in a mobile home, and it's an older home, but it's tied down.
Thank
and
goodness.
this thing moved today. The wind was so strong.
Really?
Wow.
It come off of the ground maybe 2 inches and smacked back down.
That is really scary. I mean,
yeah, that has to be terrifying.
Mobile home parks got to be the worst place to be in a
No,
storm like this.
I'm on a private. I'm on a private lot.
You need to get those once it's all over. Get those tie downs tightened up. People can tighten them up for you, and then you won't have that trouble again.
Good point, Kathy. Thanks for your call tonight.
yeah.
I appreciate it. Toll free number 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. We're live here on Saturday night. This is Free Talk Live.
Warning. If you're drowning in debt you can't afford, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to pay it all back, because you don't. What the credit card companies don't want you to know is that there's actually a way to get debt-free without paying off your entire debt or going bankrupt. If you have $5,000 or more in credit card debt, you now have the right to settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. For free information, call Credit Associates now. 1-800-959-5928. We'll even show you how much money you could save. If you can't afford to pay off all your debt, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to. Call Credit Associates now for free information on how to get debt-free faster than you ever thought possible without debt consolidation or bankruptcy. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk. For free information, call now. 1-800-959-5928. That's 1-800-959-5928. 1-800-959-5928.
You are what you eat? No, not true. You are what you can absorb, because not absorbing nutrition leads to nutritional deficiency and degenerative diseases. Medication does not fix nutritional deficiencies, and North American soil is now 85% nutritionally depleted. That means your body is not getting the vitamins it needs from just grown foods. Introducing Protovite, the world's first and only full-spectrum protosomal supplement. Protovite is a proprietary liquid system that allows premium quality nutrients to positively affect the blood in an astonishing 5 minutes. That's rapid absorption. Then Protovite liquid continues to release sustained nutrition in the stomach, intestines, and colon over a prolonged period of time. See Protovite in action. Watch our amazing 2-minute live blood cell video today at TrueHealthFacts.com. That's TrueHealthFacts.com. Or call 502-410-3411. 502-410-3411. Protovite is nutrition you can feel. Protovite is nutrition that gets in.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. Physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
This is your Roberts & Roberts Brokerage Daily Precious Metals Update. In early trading Friday, gold is $7 higher at $1,262 per ounce, and silver is up 32 cents at $17.64 per ounce. Bitcoin is currently trading at $614 US. Roberts & Roberts Brokerage have been helping clients buying and selling precious metals for nearly 40 years. To see how we can help you, give us a call at 800-874-9760 or visit us online at rrbi.co.
While our satellite channel is free to listen to, it's not free for us. You can help us cover our satellite costs with the chip-in on the right side of the page at lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, the live Saturday edition. You can take control of the airwaves here. You can bring up anything you want, and what a lot of people want to talk about tonight, at least in South Carolina, where we are heard on the air in a few different markets, actually, including the very coastal market of Myrtle Beach on an amazing FM talker, WRNN, which may be, according to a couple of our callers, the only station currently broadcasting in that area, which is an indicator of what kind of damage this storm has done. I mean, it's one thing to knock a tree down, but this thing has taken out radio stations, apparently. And these radio stations are generally pretty well prepared for this kind of thing. I remember years ago when I was in Florida, there was a hurricane that came. We actually had to evacuate the island where we were broadcasting from. You don't remember this one, Mark? Maybe you didn't work at the station at that time.
Well, I was a sales guy. We didn't have to stay overnight.
Right. And so they wanted to evacuate the island, so we weren't actually able to be on the station because the studios were on Anna Maria Island.
City Island.
City Island.
It's not an island. It's
in
a
Sarasota,
peninsula off of Lido Key or something.
Well, it's an island now, son. Anyway, they evacuated it, and we ended up going down to the actual transmitter site in, I think it was like Venice or something like that, and literally had an overnight camp-out session with the disc jockeys where we were literally broadcasting from the transmitter site. It was pretty crazy.
Which transmitter?
That was I think it was 107.9 or something like that at the time. It was the rock station that I was working for. So, yeah, I mean, thank goodness WRNN's on the air. We'll continue taking your calls, and you can share your experiences with the hurricane. A lot of people saying it's been a lot worse than it was reported. You get everything from downed trees all over the place, down power lines, flooded streets, and that's just in the Myrtle Beach and the surrounding areas. We haven't heard from anybody in Charleston. Actually, we do have somebody listening to WTMA in Charleston. Charles is on the line. I was wondering if they were on the air. I'm glad to hear that TMA's on the air. Go ahead, Charles.
Yeah, man, TMA's on the air. I appreciate you guys talking to us tonight. It's great.
Thanks. How are things down there?
Well, you know what? I made it through the whole storm. We kept power. We kept cable TV all night. So I was just kind of laying in my bed, kind of listening to the weather and stuff like that. And then about 6 o'clock tonight, we lost power. So I don't know.
Drat.
I heard a couple of explosions. So I think what happened is they were trying to put the power back together, and something must have blew. So now we've been out of power for a few hours. So
now, I didn't look at the maps or anything like that. Do you know where this thing made landfall? Was it closer to Myrtle Beach or closer to Charleston?
Yeah, they were saying McClellanville, which if you remember Hurricane Hugo made landfall right at Charleston.
Okay.
But McClellanville,
it's a little bit northeast of there.
McClellanville's a little bit north, so it got the great impact of the storm and the great storm surge by the way the hurricane made impact in Charleston. But this time, what they're saying is it made impact at McClellanville, so probably Georgetown and Myrtle Beach. Sounds like your callers are saying Myrtle Beach, Georgetown got it pretty rough.
Yeah, they got
that kind of makes sense.
They got whomped out there, even as far in as we got calls from Einor, which is like 30 or something miles.
They're saying as far in as Florence.
Yeah. So
right. So yeah, that northern part of the storm really hit them hard. So
well, what they were saying it was actually the back end of the hurricane that really hit them the hardest. The initial hour or so until the eye wasn't a big deal, but then after the eye passed over, then it was really whipping hard with the winds and knocking trees out of the ground. Was that your experience, or was it all pretty much uniform?
No, the wind did pick up towards the end, but I think we had pretty significant winds on the front side of the storm.
There you go.
But I'm just thankful it's not worse than it is. Maybe we can get power back on and get everything back to normal.
Charles,
are you seeing a lot of trees down, or is it branches?
We had, how the big trees like the oak trees, the root ball and everything comes up. Yeah, my son-in-law and my daughter at their house, which is over in College Park, which is kind of near Somerville. They had a tree in their yard come up with the whole root ball system and everything.
Yeah, we have to. It's the wet soil. So it won't hold them as well. But I think oaks have that taproot.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so you see the whole root ball, and then you see all the roots underground and everything. It's pretty crazy and kind of apocalyptic looking. But I haven't seen, unlike Hugo, I didn't see pine trees snapping off like we did during Hurricane Hugo.
And so it could have been worse. Charles, thanks for your call, man. I appreciate you sharing your thoughts with us here tonight, and also good to hear that TMA is on the air.
I got to say,
Charleston.
I hate conifers, pine trees. Yeah, I just don't like them, man. Those things, what good are they? They drop sap in your car. They get those ugly little needles. And then, they can't even stand up to wind.
Let's go to Philip. He's in Conway, South Carolina. Philip, you're on Free Talk Live, listening to WRNN.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much for having me on the program. It has been a long wait. I said thank you very much for having me on the program.
My pleasure. Go ahead.
It has been a very long wait, and we in South Carolina here, especially within the PD and Grand Strand area, we have lost all of our radio station, and you guys are the only ones that we are listening to right now.
Wow.
And like the previous caller said, I have never listened to your program on the desk now. You can understand how much of a blessing you are to the people of South Carolina, especially Horry, Georgetown counties, and all of the areas around here. Well, we are in darkness. There is no electricity here. Some of the roads are impassable. In fact, I just received a text message wherein they said there have been a countrywide curfew imposed from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m.
Curfews, yeah.
And it's kind of difficult. Finally, just before I leave, I mean, you guys been talking about politics. I'm not really from here. Mm-hmm. I was not born and raised here. I'm from West Africa. Excellent. But as a journalist, I'm so disappointed in the media in the United States. I mean, for heaven's sake, man, they created the environment for the Republicans to have a man like Mr. Trump at the head of a major political party. I mean, in all fairness, there's no way you can compare him to Hillary. To be honest with you, this is the United States. This is the leader of the world. To have a man like that to run for president, he doesn't have any experience in government. He can even speak as a president.
A lot of people think that's an advantage.
He's not presidential material, and the level of spotlight that is placed on Hillary, she's blamed.
Well, they're all bad. I mean, to me, the fact that Trump and Hillary are the selections of these political parties really just goes to show just the absolute failure of politics and the idea.
What I'm saying, I'm not cutting you off, but what I'm saying, the media is not being fair. The level of spotlight and scrutiny that is placed on Hillary.
Well, I mean, the media is pretty nasty to Trump, too.
Yeah,
hey, Philip, where in West Africa? Just curious. Where in West Africa are you from? Philip? Hello? Might have lost him. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it. Cell phone networks are probably overloaded if you think about it there in South Carolina as well. So welcome to our new listeners here. We're live. It's Saturday night, and this is Free Talk Live, 855-450 free.
Fully cooked, ready-to-eat bacon. I'm talking thick, meaty, center-cut presidential bacon. Savory and delicious. I buy some, I use some, I store some. Awesome. No refrigeration needed with a 10-year shelf life. NASA pack technology. Bacon. Fully cooked, fully hydrated, ready to eat right from the packed bacon or warm and served. Life-saving, ready-to-eat bacon. 10-year shelf life bacon. Ships free at fullycookedbacon.com. Fullycookedbacon.com.
In these uncertain times, it makes sense to have a sustainable backup method to cook food and boil water. If your current plan includes using a fuel-burning stove or cooking over an open fire, then there's a much better way. The Minuteman Rocket Stove is a biomass-burning cooking stove that only requires small quantities of sticks and twigs for fuel. The Minuteman Stove is easy to use, smokeless, portable, powerful, and sustainable. For the finest in survival cooking stoves and fire starters made right here in the USA, go to MinutemanStove.com. That's MinutemanStove.com.
Anyone can publish on the internet, but not everyone is publishing material suited for online reading. According to the Yahoo Style Guide, it cautions that internet content has a few seconds, 3 or less, to encourage people to read more, to take action, or navigate to another one of your pages. So make it easy for readers to pick and choose. Isn't that the way you poke around online? Use short words, short sentences, short paragraphs, bulleted lists, and short pages. Front load what you write, putting the most important information at the beginning of headlines and paragraphs and sentences. Same goes for your keywords, what someone would likely type into the search box on Yahoo or Google. For more tips on communicating better online or in a job interview or everyday life, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
Ross Ulbricht was convicted in early 2015 of running the infamous Silk Road Underground Market. The Silk Road was a gift to humanity and helped reduce the harms brought on by drug prohibition. For this good deed, Ross has been sentenced to life in prison with no possibility of parole. Now, an appeal is Ross's only chance, and he needs your support. Please visit freeross.org, where you can contribute via various methods, including Bitcoin. Visit freeross.org. That's freeross.org. You may already know about the Free Talk Live audio-on-demand phone line at 641-793-9660. Did you know that not only can you listen to Free Talk Live via your phone, you can also leave a message and have it delivered to Free Talk Live's hosts? To leave us your thoughts, just dial 641-793-9660. That's 641-793-9660. Press 2 for Free Talk Live, and then hit 0 to leave your message.
Free Talk Live.
Hundreds of videos of people posting, the snow in Georgia isn't real because if you take it and you wad it into a snowball and you hold a lighter to it, it doesn't burn. And it leaves these charred black marks. And it's like, yeah, that's the way snow behaves everywhere because it's ice. And there's way more molecules in, a block ice than there is in a match.
Because size does matter.
Yeah, extremely. When it comes to temperature, absolutely.
Can't you cut the Southerners a break? I mean, they've never seen
No!
snow.
If you think that there's a conspiracy out there to spray plastic snow across the
Oh,
entire,
is that what they're saying?
the
Is that what
entire
they're saying?
state of Georgia, and you think that the snow isn't real, you're a moron.
Wait, is that what they actually say in the video?
Yes! My friends and fellow patriots, it's a conspiracy. They're spraying chemtrail snow all over the state of Georgia.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM. Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.LRN.FM for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.LRN.FM.
This is Free Talk Live, and you can bring up anything you want. Although almost everybody so far tonight wants to talk about either some sort of opinion on the election and the disastrous situation there in many of the coastal areas of South Carolina, including Myrtle Beach and Charleston. The majority of the calls coming from Myrtle Beach tonight, where apparently WRNN is the only radio station that has a transmission right now. So welcome to all of our new listeners. We do a talk radio show, just kind of let you know what Free Talk Live is about. It's not like your typical talk radio show because, well, we don't support Trump, we don't support Hillary. We're pretty much libertarians here on Free Talk Live, but I don't really even support the libertarian candidate. It's Ian and Mark in the studio. We're actually broadcasting from not really nearby at all, Keene, New Hampshire, but we're originally from the South, so we got a little bit of experience having been on the west coast of Florida for most of our lives. Mark, you and I been through our share of nasty storms and weather, so we can relate. You can join us here, 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Now we have to deal with storms during the wintertime in the Northeast, which is a bit of a different animal.
This is one thing I
losing power can be deadly up here.
I pointed out on my Facebook page is every time you talk to a Yankee about Florida, you can be sure that hurricanes and alligators are going to come up in their next breath, right? And, hey, the North has natural disasters too. We call it winter. I mean, think about the amount of money that is spent shoving white stuff around, and you will see the destructive power of winter in the Northeast here, and frankly all across the United States. Winter is incredibly destructive. 5 people are purported to have died in
South
Florida,
Carolina, or was it Florida?
Well, we don't have a death toll from the rest of it, but 5 people in Florida. 3 of them don't really count because one's a power line worker and 2 of them died from carbon monoxide poisoning. The other 2 had trees fall on them. I'd say that's legit. But I mean, how many people die because of winter every year? People fled the hurricanes in Florida, so you could say that the death toll would be higher if they stayed, and that's true. But people flee winter. We call them snowbirds. So, I mean, let's stop feeling superior, America. You've all got your little problems with where you live.
There's always some disaster looming around the corner. Anyway, we're here to take your calls if you want to share your experience with the hurricane or whatever's on your mind. You can do that too. So we're kind of getting dual calls. Like somebody will comment on their hurricane experience and then they'll just comment on the election because everybody's got an opinion about Trump and Hillary. Our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, and also want to let you know about MyPillow. Whether you're in the dark or your power's still on, at some point you're going to go to sleep tonight. And are you using MyPillow? Not the one that's in my bed. It's the brand, MyPillow.com. It's an amazing pillow. We've been using it, Mark. You and I both have one, and been using it for the past several months. It's a fantastic pillow, and they really stand behind their product over at MyPillow.com because they are going to guarantee you're going to love this thing or you get your money back. You got a 60-day window of time where you get to decide. That's more than enough time to determine whether or not this is the best pillow you've ever used. And unlike a regular pillow, you can actually wash this thing in your washer and dry it in your dryer. I've never seen a pillow do that in my entire life. Makes you wonder what's inside some of those old pillows you've been using for a decade.
You sure can't do it with down.
So MyPillow.com, use code FTL. You'll get your MyPillow at half price, or you can get 2 for the price of 1. It's up to you, and they've also got a 10-year warranty on the product as well. MyPillow.com, code FTL. Let's go to your calls.
Hey, I got a comment here, a Facebook comment on the whole Trump thing.
Okay.
I love this. It says, if American women are so outraged by Donald Trump's naughty words, who the hell bought 80 million copies of 50 Shades of Grey?
Yeah, it's an interesting point. Let's talk to Hans listening in Charleston. So far, every female caller tonight has been
unimpressed,
in love with Donald Trump, basically. Hans, you're on Free Talk Live, listening to WRNN in... Actually, wait, no, it says you're in Charleston, so you must be listening to WTNA, or TMA. Welcome.
Yes, I'm in Charleston. And you made a comment about stuff up north. Anybody who lived through the Great Ice Storm in 1998 and in the Black Triangle up in Quebec where they had no electricity for 60 days in some places knows what it's really like.
That sounds
And
unbelievable.
I was up there. I lived where I was. It was 2 weeks, so it wasn't as bad. And this down here, first hurricane I've gone through, but besides the 2 days of wind and rain and now being out of electricity for 24 hours, it hasn't been that bad. We had a little bit of an ice storm here a couple of years ago where they closed Ravenel Bridge for a week. That was worse than this, I think.
Yeah, generally a hurricane, as far as the damage it can do, as long as a tree doesn't come down on your house, being without power isn't the end of the world in the South. I mean,
there's certainly hurricanes. I mean, when you think about Andrew and Katrina, I mean, in some cases it'll lift the house up and toss it someplace. Those are caused by the cyclone causes tornadoes. Generally most people are dealing with either wind or water damage, and mostly that wind is something broke off a tree.
Yeah. Now, as for Trump, I would. Not that I can vote for him, but I support him wholeheartedly.
You can't vote for him?
No, because I'm not a U.S. citizen. Oh. But that being said...
Sound like a U.S. citizen.
He said he was from Quebec, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but, the president is the leader, but he has advisors. So anything he doesn't know, that's what advisors are for.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that a lot of people sort of consider is that the president isn't supposed to know everything. But one thing I've always wondered is if it's about the economy, if the presidential race is about the economy, then why aren't we electing economists? No one seems to care about them. If it's if
they don't have the charisma.
If a nation that doesn't remember the past is doomed to repeat it, why aren't we electing historians? Why do we keep electing lawyers? Because that's what most of them are.
Well, to Trump's credit, I don't think he is an attorney, is he?
No,
right?
He's not an attorney. He's a blowhard.
Hey, Hans, thanks for your call tonight, man. I appreciate you sharing your thoughts and your experience. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. But I wish people would stop looking to politicians as though they were leaders. Please. I mean, look, even if you like Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton, do you really want that person to lead you anywhere? Do you really want to follow their advice? I mean, ultimately, politicians are politicians, if they're attorneys, because they were lousy attorneys or because they were, not successful generally.
Power seeking. I mean, if you have an office, if an office holds a great deal of power, who's going to attract? Somebody who seeks power, right?
Right. Economists want to do economic things, and business people want to do business. But power seekers are all about running for political office.
Now, I'm not saying that there aren't people that run for political office and seek the power in order to keep that power away from other people. But when I look at Hillary and I look at Clinton, I don't like to call her by her first name. I think it's unfair. I mean, her. If you're going to call Trump, you think you should call Clinton, Clinton.
Yeah, but then you're making it clear which Clinton you're talking about if you use her first name.
Agreed. I don't think anybody's going to confuse in this situation. But when I look at Clinton and when I look at Trump, I don't see people that are attempting to stop some evil person from getting the ring of power. If you want to make that claim, I think you should start looking at Jill Stein from the Green Party or Gary Johnson from the Libertarian Party. Those two people are much more likely to be seeking it for the right reasons.
I don't know. I think they're all seeking power. But let's go to Melvin, listening in Myrtle Beach to WRNN. Hey, Melvin, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Welcome, sir.
Hey, I just wanted to let y'all know about this storm that's going on. That backside of that storm that came around, it was just unleashing all of this power. I mean, it gave everything it had. It really blew hard. And the thing about these piers, there's been some damage to like all 5 of them. We have like 5 piers here, but the one down on the south end. Spring made pier, it got hit hard. Half of that is gone,
demolished.
So it washed ashore. Yeah, it is. Half of it's already sitting up there along the beach.
How would you compare this to other storms you've been through in the South?
Well, I mean, I've been here since Hugo, so I've gone through like every single one of them.
You've seen some of the worst.
Yes, this has been one of the worst.
Melvin, thanks for sharing, man. I really appreciate hearing from you tonight. This is Free Talk Live. Join us here.
Every once in a while, you get information that's worth changing your life for. This is one such time. You can save up to and beyond 25% on all purchases at Amazon. You probably heard of Bitcoin and just not thought much about it. You certainly know that you can get competitive pricing at Amazon. But now you can get a 25% discount on nearly everything you need to live. I've just given you a huge raise, and all you have to do is claim it. You go to saveitpurse.com and open an account. Do this right now. Don't wait. Then you fund the account with Bitcoin. You can buy them through expresscoin.com with a check or money order. There are other ways to get Bitcoin, but that's fast, safe, and easy. This information is worth you changing the way you do things. Go to saveitpurse.com right now, get signed up, and cash in on the huge raise I'm offering you. 15 to 25% off of everything at Amazon through saveitpurse.com. It's saveatpurse.com.
Have you checked your Google search results lately? Search results are usually the first impression that people form of you or your business. So make sure that they create a positive impression with ReputationDefender.com. What the internet says about you can have a big impact on your life and your livelihood, even if it's not true. Fortunately, you can now control how you look online and in online search results with ReputationDefender.com. Call 800-831-0771 now. That's 800-831-0771 for your free reputation reputation analysis. If you have negative material from an ex-employee, upset patient, or former client, newspaper article, legal issue, social media, or other source showing up in your search results, you can combat it with ReputationDefender.com. Our dedicated experts in patented technology can help make your online search results look their best. Call 800-831-0771 to learn more. 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771. Or visit ReputationDefender.com.
Hi, I'm Derek J. I don't want a politician to represent me. To me, government is the idea that one group of people can coerce everyone to comply with an edict or face increasing punishments up to and including death. Despite perhaps the most noble of intentions, the best government services are a far cry from what could be provided for by voluntary interactions. Besides, the people who call themselves the government wage wars and put peaceful people in jail for crimes involving no victims. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com. DVD, books, music, instruments, periodicals, computers, software, electronics, photo, cell phone, office products, home and garden, bed and bath, furniture, kitchen, pet supplies, automotive, hardware, apparel, shoes, jewelry, grocery, healthcare, sports and outdoors, toys, games, used, and more. It's a department store at your fingertips. Shop.freetalklive.com. Get all your shopping done, get a great deal, and a portion of your purchase goes to benefit Free Talk Live when you enter Amazon via shop.freetalklive.com. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
It's Free Talk Live. You can dial toll-free, join us here on the radio waves. In the case of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina tonight, we are the only radio waves, apparently. Everybody else is off the air. We are here for you. We're happy to take your calls and your experiences with the hurricane. That's been actually the bulk of the show tonight, along with people commenting on Donald Trump and the, what some would say, pretty outrageous things that he was caught saying on some sort of a tour bus back in 2005. It's a pretty vulgar locker room style things. But interestingly, all of the female callers so far tonight, and keep in mind that, you know, you might say, oh, well, you're on a conservative talk station. Well, first of all, this isn't a conservative show. It's not a liberal show. We're liberty-minded here on Free Talk Live. But further, tonight's a unique night for Free Talk Live in that in Myrtle Beach, which is where 99% of our callers have come from here tonight, we're the only show on the air. So that means that everyone, regardless of their political persuasion, if they're listening to the radio, is listening to Free Talk Live. So we don't have the sort of self-selected factor going on tonight where normally people will listen to the things on the radio that they want to listen to. We're the only option. And the fact is that every single female caller tonight has been like, okay with Donald Trump and the things that he said. Now, does that mean anything for his likelihood of being elected? I don't know, but it's interesting nonetheless. Well, of course,
if it's an October surprise, it's an early one, and Trump has shown the resilience to be able to shed this kind of stuff up to this point. So, I don't know. I mean, it's as far as I'm concerned, it's a crazy circus.
We're going to continue with your calls, your thoughts about what you want, but I want to let you know if you are looking for supplies, let's say for a hurricane in the future, because when something like this strikes, there's obviously that last-minute rush to the store and the shelves are empty, right? I mean, we've all experienced that when there's some sort of an emergency situation happening. And so, usually getting the stuff you need for a hurricane or some sort of natural disaster emergency kind of thing is very difficult in advance. But once you've been, once you've gotten through it, then you've realized, oh crap, I forgot the batteries, or I forgot the flashlight, or I forgot the generator. So that's when you start. That's when you should make your list.
Yeah, make the list. This is what I was going to say. Is hey, the ballpoint pen is still working. The paper's still working. Just as you think of things that you wish you had, write them down,
and then start looking for them when your internet comes back on or whatever. And what I would recommend you do is start your shopping at shop.freetalklive.com. Why rush to the store? Now you have plenty of time to prepare for whatever it is that comes next. And something's going to come next, so you might as well get the emergency supplies you need through shop.freetalklive.com. Now, why would you do that? Well, because it helps Free Talk Live, and you still get the same great deals from Amazon that you're used to. So when you go to shop.freetalklive.com, there'll be Amazon links for the United States, for Canada, for the UK. You click into the right one for you, and then just get whatever it is you need and have it delivered to your door. You get the same great prices and selection that you're used to from Amazon. It's just that Amazon kicks us over a portion of the purchase price. So thank you in advance for doing that. We appreciate it. Shop.freetalklive.com. Back to the phones and your calls and thoughts. We got Cecilia. She's on the line in Einor, South Carolina, listening to WRNN. Hey, Cecilia.
Hi there.
Welcome.
Good evening.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Weathered the storm pretty well. A little damage, not too much, but I'm mainly calling about Trump and Hillary, or Mrs. Clinton, as the other caller said. It's too personal. She's not worthy. Can't America realize what is going on? And how dare Paul Ryan cancel the conference they were going to have for TV? He fell right into her trap. They've known about this till this time. America, wake up. He's better than Donald. I mean, he's better than Donald Trump. Is much better than Hillary to run off. No, he's not perfect. I can't tell you what I did 11 years ago. I can't remember. And he's a man.
If you ran for office, you'd find out.
You probably weren't running around grabbing people's crotches.
I would love to get and help him win. I would love to.
Oh, you're breaking my heart, Cecilia.
I'm breaking your heart.
Oh, that's
sorry.
funny.
Oh, the song.
Yeah.
I got you. Donald
She's
Trump
never heard
needs
that
to
joke
get
before,
thick-skinned.
Let's do my best.
And go after her like a tiger. And I am not a deplorable. My husband is for Trump as well. And America needs to vote for Trump, not the little things. He has not broken the law. She needs to lose her security clearance. They need to rescind it.
Now, I bet
she
you
does not have the right to be in office.
I bet you get another female Trump supporter here tonight. Very interesting. Now, tell me, obviously, every political sign in the Myrtle Beach area or Einor has been whipped out of the ground by this hurricane if it wasn't collected. But beforehand, when you've been driving around town, what are you seeing? Are you seeing support for Trump overall, or are you seeing a lot of Hillary support?
And I wish I had a great big sign I could put in my yard. I would love to talk to that man and help him. There's so much he needs to do that he can do. He needs to watch himself in the mirror with his speeches. He needs to go after her throat. I mean,
well, we might just see that happen tomorrow night. I mean,
responsible.
The gloves
for
are off for sure. Cecilia, thanks for your call tonight. Appreciate hearing from you. No, I'm not going to cut you off.
Right.
I'm saying thanks for your call.
Okay.
If I cut you off, it'd be a lot ruder than that. So thank you. I appreciate
it.
Well,
let me know if I'm being too nasty.
No, not at all. Not at all. I'm just saying I appreciate it. Thank you. Now you're gone. Toll-free number 855-450-FREE. That we got to make room for everybody else because there's a lot of people that want to talk.
Yeah, I mean, people are. It's being the same things being said over and over. As far as it's just interesting, women supporting Trump. If you listen to the news, you'd be of the opinion that these ladies don't exist.
Right, yeah.
That they're just, this is some kind of crocoduck that doesn't come from anywhere. But these ladies from South Carolina, haven't they all been from South Carolina?
Yes.
We
got one coming on who's not, but
apparently
yes, so
they are unimpressed by whatever this revelation is. And I got to say that the timing of it is really strange. About an hour after the Clinton emails are revealed, bang. Here's your Donald Trump news.
Which we do have information about those Clinton emails as well. We just haven't had time for it yet here tonight. So if we get to it tonight, we will. Otherwise, we're on here 7 nights a week. By the way, for listeners that are new to the show, and we got a lot of them in Myrtle Beach tonight, also probably in Charleston This show is available 7 nights a week live. Now, we may not be on your local station all 7 nights, and I know for a fact we're not in Myrtle Beach. But if you like what we're doing here on Free Talk Live, one of the things you can do for us is to contact your local talk radio station. First of all, tell them thanks for staying on the air during the hurricane and or whatever, and then also thank them for Free Talk Live. Let them know, let the program director know that you appreciate this show being on the station that you're listening to it on. And if you're not listening to us on a local radio station, you're listening online, well, you can always do that over at freetalklive.com, but you can still call your local station and ask them to put Free Talk Live on the air. We could, we've got 160-something stations. We could be on 300, 400, 500. That's possible. But the program directors around the country need to hear from you. Let's continue here with your calls and thoughts. We got Angela. She's listening in California to KGOE. Hello, Angela.
Thank you very much.
Sure. Welcome.
Hello.
Yep.
So I know this horrible hurricane has hit Florida and is passing on through South Carolina and North Carolina. My little girls were illegally taken from me and transferred across state lines. They were split up. Horrible criminal child abuse done to them all through court. But I never got a chance to tell my children that I love them and that, I love them more than anything in the universe. And I'm so sorry for what has happened to them. I see pictures of them on the internet that they split them up. They're calling them all kinds of names. They're with all kinds of unsavory people that I wouldn't leave a dog with.
And did you say it was the court system that did this?
It was the local Humboldt County court system where I was appointed a public defender named Leslie Keeg.
Oh, boy.
My husband had just abducted both of these little girls. I didn't know my husband's past, that he was molested as a child. He never shared any of that with me. His brother molested him in the state of Wisconsin, and all the records were sealed. I was treated worse than a mass murderer. Even people in jail are allowed to see their children. I can't even write to my children. They split them up after assuring me in court that they would keep my children at least together because they had been through so much horrendous trauma and child abuse. Every type of child abuse that you could heap on a child, from the foster homes to my husband's weekly molestations.
Why, Angela, did you not get custody of them? What was the reason for that?
Of course not. I got my children at the police station, surrendered to me under order of the court, or he'd face a warrant for his arrest. When I picked my children, they brought them out to the lobby of the police station and said, "Here's your children," and then went back behind their doors. When I saw the condition of my children, I could hardly believe my eyes. Injuries to my child's face. These are 2 little girls under 3 years old.
It sounds absolutely terrifying, and I can tell you, Angela, that you're not the only one, but that's not much solace. Thank you for your call tonight.
Little girl.
There are so many people who've just had their families torn apart by this court system. It's Free Talk Live. Hour 3 is coming up.
For Bitcoin to be ubiquitous, people need to use it. For people to use it, they must have it. How can we get Bitcoin into more hands? Well, tipping might be a great way. What if you could include a bonus Bitcoin tip along with your regular tip to a server? What if that Bitcoin returned to you if unclaimed after 30 days? An attractive business card-sized Bitcoin tip that is easily claimed, gives instructions on wallets, spending, and returns to the user if unused? Tip.freetalklive.com. Tip.freetalklive.com.
Here's a good idea. When you have a legal matter like creating your will or legally setting up a business with a corporation or LLC, you don't necessarily need a law firm. Use LegalZoom.com. At LegalZoom.com, you answer straightforward questions online, and they take care of the rest. They even review your answers for common mistakes and guarantee your satisfaction. Free Talk Live listeners, you'll get 10% off your order by typing in FTL in the referral box at purchase. Don't procrastinate with these important legal documents. LegalZoom.com.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount.
The 3 most important important things you can do for Free Talk Live are: 1, share one episode a week on Facebook or in some other social networking site. 2, buy the things you buy online through shop.freetalklive.com. 3, give $5 a month to the AMP program. It's my firm belief that Free Talk Live's AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented organizations. Support all the organizations you love, but make sure you give $5 a month to AMP at amp.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Saturday, October 8th, 2016. Silver is trading at $17.56 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,257 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $621. Antiwar.com reports former employees of Yahoo have corroborated this week's stories about the company scanning all emails coming into the servers on behalf of the NSA, saying that the email scanner software was not Yahoo built, but actually made and installed by the U.S. government. The employees included at least one of Yahoo's own internal security team, reported finding the software on the email server and believed they were being hacked before executives informed them that the government had done it. They described the software as a broader rootkit that could give the NSA access to much more than just emails. To make matters worse, the employees say the government software was buggy and poorly designed, meaning it could have given other hackers who discovered it the same access to the Yahoo server, adding to the danger it posed to customers' privacy. Yahoo itself has been mostly mum on the matter, issuing a statement claiming that the initial reports were misleading but not elaborating at all. The NSA denied the claim outright, though they have been repeatedly caught lying about similar programs in the past. Bitcoin Not Bombs is a launching pad for nonprofits and social entrepreneurs into the financial freedom of the Bitcoin economy. Bitcoin Not Bombs offers premium publicity campaigns designed to facilitate an organization's adoption of Bitcoin as a payment system and to fully capitalize on that decision in their fundraising efforts. Bitcoin Not Bombs is fully committed to being the hub of the nonprofit sector of the Bitcoin economy, maximizing the potential cross-promotion of all our clients and commercial partners. To learn more, visit bitcoinnotbombs.com. UPI reports for weeks athletes who won Olympic medals and prize money at the Summer Games in Rio de Janeiro face the prospects of paying federal taxes on the rewards when they returned home. Not so anymore, President Barack Obama assured on Friday. The president signed the United States Appreciation for Olympians and Paralympics Act of 2016 to exempt most U.S. athletes from owing taxes on medals and money received at the international sporting events. Previously, American athletes had to give the government a cut of the value of their awards. The bill was passed by the House and Senate last month, clearing the entire U.S. Congress with only one nay vote from Representative Jim Himes of Connecticut. The only exception to the law is for athletes who make an adjusted annual gross income exceeding $1 million, such as Michael Phelps and the entire Team USA men's basketball roster. The new law retroactively applies to athletes at the Rio Games and will apply to all future Winter and Summer Olympics. Winnings by athletes at the Paralympic Games are also protected by the new law. For nearly 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and have permanently removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports Hurricane Matthew killed more than 800 people and left tens of thousands homeless in Haiti earlier this week before it skirted Florida's Atlantic coast on Friday and plowed northward over waters just off Georgia. The number of deaths in Haiti, the poorest country in the Americas, surged to at least 842 on Friday as information trickled in from remote areas previously cut off by the storm, according to a Reuters tally of death tolls given by officials. Hurricane Matthew triggered mass evacuations along the U.S. coast from Florida through Georgia and into the Carolinas. Carolinas. Matthew smashed through Haiti's western peninsula on Tuesday with 145-mile-per-hour winds and torrential rain. Officials said some 61,500 people were in shelters after the storm pushed the sea into fragile coastal villages, some of which were only now being contacted. At least 3 towns in the hills and coast of Haiti's fertile western tip reported dozens of people killed, including the farming village of Chantel, where the mayor said 86 people died, mostly when trees crushed houses. He said another 20 were missing. With cell phone networks down and roads flooded, aid has been slow to reach hard-hit areas in Haiti. Food was scarce, and at least 7 people had died of cholera, likely because of floodwater mixing with sewage. Hurricane Matthew sideswiped Florida's coast with winds of up to 120 miles per hour, but did not make landfall in the state. The U.S. National Hurricane Center downgraded the storm to a Category 2 hurricane. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
Here is the Onion Weekend Review Transportation Edition. In Albany, a Greyhound bus crash claimed 30 miserable lives Tuesday, finally putting over 24 deadbeat fathers, penniless drug addicts, and hapless bastards out of their misery. Emergency crews at the scene of the merciful accident described the sea of fast food bags, candy bar wrappers, and losing lottery tickets surrounding the crash site as utterly tragic, adding that the scorched corpses inside the bus were, quote, only slightly more lifeless than before the deadly accident.
Evidence suggests that most of the victims suffered during the crash, and for many years before they even boarded the bus. All I can say is, thank God no one made it.
Al-Qaeda is refusing to carry out any further terrorist attacks until the U.S. mass transportation infrastructure is drastically improved, calling the country's roads and bridges a, quote, travesty, unbecoming of a developed first world nation.
We want to turn your bridges into rubble. But if we took credit for making them collapse, no one would ever believe us.
This is the Onion News Network.
This is Free Talk Live. You can take control of the airwaves here. It's the live Saturday edition of the program. With you tonight, it's Ian.
And Mark.
Also, you can join us online. Just head on over to freetalklive.com and enjoy the features that we share with you on the site. It's actually a website that allows you to create the content. So the stuff you see on the front page has been put there by listeners like you and then voted up or down. So it's a Reddit-based system. It's free to use. You can vote what you like up, and if you don't like something, you can vote it down or just ignore it. It's up to you. But you can get interactive with other listeners there, and sometimes we'll use the show prep there from the front page on the radio. So it's a great way to possibly get what you want talked about on the air. Of course, the best way to get what you want talked about is to call in toll-free at 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Or you can Skype into the show at Skype username LRN.FM. Tonight has been a bit of a different night here on Free Talk Live. We've been super heavy on calls from Myrtle Beach and to a lesser extent Charleston, South Carolina, which it was between those two cities where the hurricane had taken landfall. Serious damage has been done. Mark, you had thought it wasn't a big deal, but then again, you weren't really down there. And
no, I've been watching it all day on the news.
Our callers have made it quite clear it was a big deal. The beginning of the storm in Myrtle Beach not doing so much of damage, but the end, after the eye passed over, the back bands or whatever you call those things were wicked, apparently, and whipping trees out of the ground, whole root systems coming up, trees falling on houses. I mean, just all the worst possible damage apparently has happened. Lots of flooding. There's curfews in effect in various different cities, which to me is one of the most ridiculous parts about this. And I mean, I get if you don't want somebody to go and lose their car in some sort of flooded area, so that would be why you'd encourage them to stay in. But hey, if I want to get out in a canoe or something and canoe around, why shouldn't I be able to? Why is it the government gets to tell you have to stay inside your home? What's the penalty for people that just decide they want to go for a little rowboat in their dinghy or something?
Often I hope it's death, because frankly, as a volunteer firefighter, when you jackholes get out there in the middle of this crap and I've got to leave my nice safe home to go pull your dumb butt out of whatever vice you've managed to get yourself into, I mean, like, stupidity ought to have consequences.
There's nothing stupid about getting in a canoe and paddling around. I mean, there's no danger there.
Oh, no, everything's fine in the hurricane and the flooded streets and the hypodermic needles floating to the surface and God knows what else happens.
Don't shoot yourself up with a random hypodermic needle. That's not a good idea.
Hey, look, man, if
Your curfew isn't going to stop people from using heroin, by the way.
No, I'm just saying they're floating on the surface and you could get stuck by them.
I see.
It's not a good idea to get out there during this stuff. If you need to get out and travel, then by all means you should get out and travel, but you need to consider what need means. If you're out having a good old time, then
the hurricane party.
Expect the consequences and don't expect emergency services. Emergency services were suspended. That's one of the reasons that these curfews were in place.
Let's go to Sonny. He is in South Carolina. You're on Free Talk Live. Hello, Sonny.
Hi.
Or she?
I'm calling from Merle's Inlet, South Carolina.
Okay, welcome. You're on
Hi.
the air. You're on the radio. Go ahead with your thoughts.
Okay, my thought is I just want to thank you for keeping me company
You're welcome.
while I don't have any power since 3 o'clock.
Wow.
I'm using a lantern, a portable radio, and I'm just enjoying your show that I never heard before.
Now, what city were you in again?
I'm in Merle's Inlet, South Carolina.
Merle's
It's
Inlet.
the seafood capital of South Carolina.
All right, cool. Well, we're glad you're out there, and so you're out without power. What other kind of things have you experienced?
I have a lantern going, candles, and I'm listening to you guys keep me company. But I want to tell you just a little, no politics or anything. I want to tell you a little something about Merle's Inlet. On the inlet, we have something called where goats stay on a little island. It's called Goats Island that everyone can see from the inlet. And before the hurricane came, they took all the animals and the goats off a little Goats Island.
Really?
And put them in a sanctuary where they'll be comfortable until the hurricane is over.
Interesting. Thank you, Sonny, for sharing that.
Goats
go ahead,
Island's on the inlet? It's not on the intercoastal waterway?
It's just an inlet that is so beautiful with many restaurants, and I'm living here 12 years, and I feel like I'm on vacation every day.
That's a nice feeling to have. Sonny, thanks for your call. We're glad we could be there for you tonight, and thanks for listening to Free Talk
Live. And thanks for keeping me company,
You're very
and I shall listen to you again.
We're on every Saturday night on WRNN out of Myrtle Beach, also WTMA in Charleston as well. Thanks for the call tonight. Plus, you can get us on WQXL in, Columbia. That's what it is.
I was headed down the intercoastal waterway last week, and I did see a spit of land. I couldn't tell you whether it's an island or not. I couldn't see it from the top. I was seeing it from the side that had a bunch of goats on it. But it was, I think, a bit away from this inlet, so I'm kind of curious if there's more than one island covered in goats.
Well, you're going back down there at some point.
Well, I'm not heading back up.
Okay, good point. But you parked your boat in South Carolina, didn't you?
I did, in Charleston. I'm sincerely hoping it's okay after this weather report I've gotten. But I am unwilling to talk about, my boat. I hope it's okay with all these people sitting in the dark.
Yeah. Well, you did pay twice as much to put it there, so hopefully that helped.
No, we got in before the hurricane price increase. The boatyard did have a price increase for reblocking. However, from what I understand, they didn't actually do it because they were so busy. So I could have a flooding situation. I don't know.
Let's continue with your calls and thoughts. Ferris is on the line in Myrtle Beach. Ferris, you're on Free Talk Live listening to WRNN.
Evening, fellas. You are the only game in town.
Excellent. And finally, Mark, we have a monopoly.
You are, and this is a monopoly in a very large, vibrant community. You just had this lady, Sunny, call in from Merle's Inlet. Very special place. I hope to see Sunny down there in a day or two when we go down to survey the damage. But they did get whacked really hard. We got hammered here in Myrtle Beach.
Now, you're going to survey damage? Is that something that you do for a living?
Yes, I do. And especially when I hear people like Sonny calling your show, which, by the way, I'd like to compliment you guys on a great deal. You concern me that you would encourage voting for others than Trump. However, you provide a pretty good forum. I wanted to explain why Trump gets a big bump out of this thing. This is a huge opportunity disguised as a problem.
It's the crotch-grabbing bump. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, he's going to make out beautifully from this. As you found out tonight, real women love Trump regardless of what he says, because words are bearers of thought, but they are not as damning as actions by this vermin, Hillary Clinton, who actually a case could be made for treason, and of course the penalty for that is being shot at dawn. We'd be all better off, but here's why Trump gets a big win out of this thing with the opportunity tomorrow night to turn it around to his favor.
Let me hear.
Well, that is because the real women adore him. I don't know if you've been to many of his rallies. I know I've been, and I've been to several in Connecticut, also up in New Hampshire.
I
and that's
think
why
you can
we
be
like
a real woman and not like Trump. But why is it you're saying that real women like Trump?
Yeah, what's gonna happen tomorrow?
Real women like Trump because he is an alpha male man, and the way he got ambushed by Billy Bush, no pun intended.
I think Billy Bush was just talking to him.
Yeah, that wasn't. I don't think that was a setup.
Well, no, but I mean, it was a setup that it was leaked at this time because of the damning stuff that came out on Hillary through WikiLeaks.
Well, who knows who leaked it?
That doesn't mean that it was Billy Bush's fault. I don't even know who that is, by the way.
No, they have this stuff. They have this stuff in the drawer, and they're going to leak something worse on Trump between now and the time of the election. But what they don't realize is Trump has struck a chord with the electorate, and he cannot lose followers. He can lose these idiots like McCain.
Hold that thought, Ferris. It's Free Talk Live.
All right, listen up, because this is the most important thing you're going to hear all day. What if I said you could make money flipping houses without any cash, credit, or manual labor? And what if I said you could do it part-time from the comfort of your home? Sound unflippin' believable? Hi, I'm Preston Neely, and I'm going to prove it by sending you a free copy of my smash hit selling book, How to Get Rich in Real Estate. It sells online for $19.95, but I'm giving away free copies this week. To get one before they're gone, call 1-800-960-4295. I used to be so broke, I had my electricity shut off 9 times, but I figured out a simple way to make money flipping houses without even breaking a sweat. Now I'm living the good life, and so should you. Listen, if you're sick and tired of stressing about money, this book could change your life. Hands down, it's the fastest, easiest way to get started in real estate. Let me prove it. Call right now to find out how to get your free book. When they're gone, they're gone. Call 1-800-960-4295. 1-800-960-4295.
Is negative content or comments on the web affecting your personal or professional reputation? Unfavorable comments, embarrassing pictures, videos, legal documents, and negative articles can ruin your personal life, your career, or your business. It happens a lot, and it's just not fair. But what can you do? ReputationDefender.com can help protect your good name. Get a free consultation now. Call 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771. Call right now for a free expert reputation analysis. It's easy to squash the unfair attacks with our patented system, and the analysis is absolutely free. Make the best things about you jump out in searches. Protect your personal and professional reputation, your business, and your income. Get your free reputation analysis from ReputationDefender.com right now. Call 800-831-0771. 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771. Or visit ReputationDefender.com today.
Are you tired of brown rust stains on your toilets, sinks, and clothes? Does your water smell and taste bad? Don't live with these problems anymore. HydroCare's revolutionary well water systems, available at Wave Home Solutions, gives you clean, healthy, great-tasting water from every faucet. They remove iron, hydrogen sulfide, sediment, and many other contaminants that are distasteful and damaging your fixtures. You'll be amazed how fresh and clean well water can be. Satisfaction guaranteed. Go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
Did you know you can watch Free Talk Live during our live shows 7 days a week from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern via our studio cams at cam.freetalklive.com? Plus, you can chat with other listeners while you watch, all totally free. Now that our live video stream is hosted by YouTube, our video archives will be online even faster. So be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Listen, watch, and chat all free at cam.freetalklive.com. That's cam.freetalklive.com.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You can dial toll-free and join us on the air. Bring up whatever is on your mind. The number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Ferris in Myrtle Beach is saying that real women love Trump. And look, I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm not a Clinton supporter. But I think you can be a real woman and not love Trump.
And I also don't believe in the real Scotsman fallacy. But.
Just saying. But I did want to hear a little bit more from Ferris about that. Also, I also want to let you know how to save big time on your purchases at Amazon. You can do that by going to saveatpurse.com, saveatpurse.com. It's a site that actually allows you to get 15, 20, 10%, whatever it is, discount you're looking for. You can ask for it from saveatpurse.com. Now, the higher the discount you want, the longer it's likely going to take to actually find somebody to buy the stuff that you're looking to get. Because the way it works is you have to have Bitcoin. If you don't have Bitcoin, then saveatpurse.com can't help you get these amazing discounts. If you do have Bitcoin, basically what you're doing is you're selling your Bitcoin to somebody at a incredible markup. So if you want to save 20% on Amazon, somebody's buying your Bitcoin at 20% over the market cost of Bitcoin. And that means that they'll ship you whatever product you want on Amazon. You mark it received, and then the person gets your Bitcoin. It really works well. I've been doing it for almost 2 years now and have saved well over $1,000 on stuff I would have bought anyway. I was going to buy all that stuff anyway, so I would have paid full price. But because I had Bitcoin and because I'm on saveatpurse.com, I saved probably an average of 15 to 20% on everything that I purchased from Amazon. It's incredible. SaveATPurse.com. Let's go back to Ferris in Myrtle Beach. Now, Ferris, you seemed concerned that in the beginning of your call that that we're not necessarily Trump fans here on Free Talk Live. That we weren't promoting people voting for him. I promote that people, if they're going to vote, should vote for who their conscience believes is the best choice, the person who is the closest to them, the person who's running that most accurately reflects their values. Now, if that's Donald Trump, then you should vote for Donald Trump. If that's Gary Johnson from the Libertarian Party, you should vote for Gary Johnson from the Libertarian Party. You should vote how you would, whatever is closest to you, don't you think?
I say give me liberty or give me death. So we agree there. There's the libertarian in me. But getting back briefly to Sunny down there in Murrells Inlet, I hope she connects with Ferris and friends on LinkedIn so that when I'm down there surveying the damage, I can turn her into a political animal. She sounds like a very nice lady, and she calls your show. But she's going to call more if she can start to become an informed voter and an informed listener to GCNlive.com. And she will know that when Trump said he cannot possibly win the election, he was on an interview with Hannity on a Monday night in August. And he said, I cannot in any way win this election because of what he calls election rigging. I call election frigging, because it's a combination of fraud and rigging. And then he asked us to go out and work for him at the polls and in the computers that are hacked with the result for the Democrat winning. There was recently a special run by Eric Shawn of Fox News
Now,
Channel.
tell me, Ferris, in South Carolina, do you guys have the electronic voting machines?
Yeah, of course we do. They're ubiquitous. I understand up there in
Now,
the
what
North
makes
Country.
you think? Well, hold on. What makes you think that the voting machine fraud, if there is going to be fraud, is going to support the Democrat? How do you know that the Republicans won't?
Oh, I'm
engage in
willing to
fraud?
bet a great deal of money that South Carolina will go for Trump. So that would sort of preclude.
So if it went for the Democrat, then that would be evidence of election
There's
fraud?
really
in your
only
mind?
about 10 to 20 counties in America that really are the deciding points for these votes. I believe that the whole fraud claim is spurious, frankly. In my town, we use number 2 pencils to bubble in the candidates, and the votes are pretty similar to the other places around. I think that America is just this complacent, frankly.
Ferris, I loved your movie. Thanks for the call tonight. Toll-free number here, 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Let's talk to Melinda, listening also in Myrtle Beach to WRNN. Hey, Melinda.
Hi.
Hey there.
So I'm calling to represent real women who do not support Donald Trump.
Oh, okay. You are out there tonight. It's been just...
Yeah, actually, there's a lot of us. I don't know why I'm the only one calling in, but God help us if Donald Trump gets elected president.
What do you think is going to happen to women if Donald Trump becomes president? He's not going to run around grabbing their crotches, is he?
I think he'll do whatever he wants, frankly. I think that, the only thing that Donald Trump cares about is Donald Trump and how Donald Trump looks. And all of the evidence points to the fact that he's a sexist and a racist and a narcissist. And that is certainly not the kind of person that I want leading our country. I also don't want Hillary Clinton leading our country, and I disagree with everyone who says it has to be one or the other.
Okay, good. So what are you going to do?
If you hate one, that doesn't mean that you automatically love the other. I'm voting for Gary Johnson.
All right. Decent. I would say a decent choice given the absolutely awful choices in the election this time around. Now, were you familiar with the Libertarians at all before this election?
No, not really. I would consider myself a Democrat, but, I have a conscience, I have common sense, and I consider myself an intelligent person. And because of those reasons, I don't think I could vote for Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton. So I had to find another option.
So was there something that put Gary Johnson on your radar, or was it just you looking at, okay, what else is out there?
Well, I was sitting there saying, well, I guess I have to vote for Hillary Clinton. I mean, it really sucks, but Donald Trump is, God, I can't, right? I mean, I can't. Sure. But I think social media made me aware of him, and then I learned more about him. And the more I learned about him, the more I realized that he's, kind of a regular person. He seems to have a conscience. Maybe he's not as well informed on all of the things that are going on as Hillary Clinton is, but frankly, he's going to surround himself with people who are informed and educated and can advise him. So what's more important to me is that I feel like he, has a good head on his shoulders. He cares about what's right for America. He seems like a decent human being, and at that point, that wins for me.
Yep. So what you're saying is real women prefer the Johnson.
I would say so, yeah.
Sorry, Mark, did you have a question?
Yeah,
for,
I was for your joke, your crude joke that should preclude you from becoming president now.
I don't want to be president of anything. I want to secede.
I was going to say that Gary Johnson can't bomb Aleppo if he doesn't know where it is.
That's a good point. Thanks, Melinda.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, so the thing to me is I wish that he knew everything. I wish that he was as well-versed in all of the issues and had all of the experience that Hillary Clinton had or whatever, but he doesn't. And so the bottom line for me is, do I want somebody who knows everything, who knows what's going on, or do I want somebody who seems like a decent human being who can ask the right questions and learn about what's going on, learn what he needs to know to make a good decision? I would rather have somebody who maybe needs to learn a little bit, but who I can trust their decision, than somebody who maybe knows everything.
Yeah, well, first of all, obviously nobody knows everything, but I find that somebody who's honest and they say they don't know, I find that appealing. The ability to admit, hey, I don't know about this, but I'll find out and learn more about it or whatever. Melinda, thanks for your call tonight. Really appreciate it. Very refreshing so far.
Yep.
Appreciate hearing from you. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. You can join us, share your thoughts on Free Talk Live.
ProPure water filters, making water great again. Taste and feel the difference with state-of-the-art filter technology. Pro 1 G2.0 and Pro Max filters are independent lab-tested to NSF standards. Choose from Gravity, Countertop, Pitcher, Shower, and Inline filtration products. There's a ProPure for you. Buy risk-free today. Visit your authorized ProPure dealer for details or ProPureUSA.com. That's ProPureUSA.com.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow, a new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Free Press Publications is an independent, alternative media and publishing company founded in June 2009 with the mission of ensuring a free press for the freedom movement and is committed to spreading the message of peace, freedom, love, and liberty. FPP also gives new authors an avenue for publishing freedom-oriented material. FPP brings you daily news and commentary on the website, fpp.cc, as well as a daily 5-minute newscast, FPP Radio News, and weekly news, views, and commentary in the FPP Freedom Minute and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio at fppradio.com, and the monthly newspaper, FPP News, at news.fpp.cc. Find FPP online at fpp.cc. That's fpp.cc, as in Creative Commons.
This is your Roberts & Roberts Brokerage Daily Precious Metals Update. In early trading Friday, gold is $7 higher at $1,262 per ounce, and silver is up 32 cents at $17.64 per ounce. Bitcoin is currently trading at $614 US. Roberts & Roberts Brokerage have been helping clients buying and selling precious metals for nearly 40 years. To see how we can help you, give us a call at 800-874-9760 or visit us online at rrbi.co.
For years, LRN.FM has had a listen line that you can call and listen to LRN.FM anytime. Now we're taking the idea to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on-demand line. You can call 641-793-9660 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed, and you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long-distance fees may apply. Just dial 641-793-9660 and choose from the menu 641-793-9660. On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live, and you can take control of the airwaves, bring up whatever's on your mind. Live Saturday edition in the studio tonight. It's Ian.
And Mark.
We've got Skype, by the way. You can Skype into the show at Skype username LRN.FM, but the supermajority of our calls here tonight are coming from the phone lines because people in South Carolina want to talk about their experience, but a lot of them don't even have any power. In fact, about 2 million people, according to ABC News, in South Carolina
just in South Carolina?
As I believe, are without power. I mean, almost everyone who's called tonight has in South Carolina has been without power. So, and plus in Myrtle Beach, we're apparently the only station on the air. So kudos to Alpha Media Group and WRNN for being the only station to successfully serve the community here this fairly tragic day. I mean, a lot of property damage has occurred. Some people have died, apparently in Florida. Haven't gotten any numbers out of or stories out of the other states in the South, but pretty devastating storm, and it was much worse than what people were expecting, apparently. You can join us here, 855-450-FREE. Plus, you can share your thoughts on whatever you want. Lots of people with opinions about Donald Trump, with the new outrageous comments that he made. A lot of people are upset by. But a surprisingly small number of the female callers have been upset. We just talked to the first female caller of the night who actually is not a fan of Donald Trump, and she's going to be voting not for Hillary, but for Gary Johnson, the Libertarian candidate. It was interesting kind of hearing her story about, how she discovered Gary Johnson. She just kind of went looking for other options. And I think that's going to be a lot of people's story this election. I really hope that, for the Libertarian Party's sake, that they actually do have a decent showing this time around. I'm not expecting much, just because I feel like a lot of people at the last minute are going to break, and they're going to pick either Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton against their best judgment. I hope they don't, though.
I'm amused by the I don't know, women's lib feminist types that say that you should vote for Hillary, that women who don't vote for Hillary are sort of betraying their gender or something like that. Did these ladies vote for Sarah Palin?
Good question.
I suspect not.
I don't think you should ever vote for somebody based on their gender or any other physical attribute. Right. It's a terrible idea.
The fact that somebody possesses 2 X chromosomes does not qualify them in any way, shape, or form for, anything.
Well, right. And actually, I think somebody mentioned earlier that
motherhood, I suppose,
that Hillary was somehow qualified for president. Well, actually, Gary Johnson's got more executive experience than Hillary Clinton does, as I understand it.
Sure.
So there's that. Let's continue.
It looks like 2.2 million people in the Southeast without power,
okay.
And the death toll is 13. Sure. But they, like I said, they include numbers that don't necessarily, aren't necessarily appropriate.
Let's talk to James. He's in Myrtle Beach listening to WRNN. Hey, James.
Yes.
Welcome, sir. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yep, you're on the air.
Yes. I was just calling in. I observed being in Myrtle Beach over the past 3 days. Being in Myrtle Beach over the last 3 days or so, the big thing I noticed, everyone being nice to everyone in and out of grocery stores and everything. God bless you, this, God bless you, that, And I'm thinking about tomorrow morning, everyone's going to get up after the storm, and they're going to go back to the big racial divide. And it's annoying to think about it. I know friends of mine. I am a Clinton supporter, and I'm about the inclusiveness of everyone. I grew up around here in Myrtle Beach all my life, and I remember going to the side doors to eat. You weren't allowed inside.
Wow.
I remember drinking from the separate water fountains. I remember not being allowed to go on the floor of the courthouse. You had to go upstairs. I mean, all the bigotry and racism that extended around here. And they talk about ISIS and terrorism. The first terrorist group in America was the KKK. People are hanged just because of the color of their skin. I come through integration, partially integration, all blacks, and then I grew the other half of high school with integrated with whites and whomever else was in class, and willing to appreciate each other for their knowledge. And my grandmother always told me, someone who won't stand for something will fall for anything. And it's ridiculous for America to sit back now and say, Donald Trump, Mr. Trump, can get away with saying or doing anything. Is ridiculous.
But are you really happy with Hillary Clinton? I mean, come on.
I'm not totally. No, I agree with you. I listened to you guys' show the first time. I'm listening by battery radio because I'm out of power, and I think about it. It's fair, but it's not fair in a way. And Gary Johnson, I am listening more and more about him, considering him. But at the same time, I'm thinking about overall, some of these folks, they're voting because of build a wall.
Yeah,
it's
scary. Yeah, they're absolutely voting for that reason.
Fear-based voters, for sure. But
and they refuse.
All politicians
say. Think about it. Over the past few years, they refuse to even address President Obama as President Obama, Mr. Obama. I mean, the guy turned the economy around, bad recession, turned it around. Give him or give his administration credit.
I can only really give Obama credit for letting some nonviolent offenders out of prison. I think that was probably the best thing that he did in his presidency. But
okay, what about gas prices? You hate paying $2
I don't think the president has much control over economics. I think there was a really great analogy during the Clinton administration, which is that the economy is kind of like the bull, and the president's kind of like the bull rider.
Yeah, I don't give them credit for anything, and I won't call any of them president. To me,
but
they're
I didn't
all
blame
thugs.
him for the economy either.
To me, Barack Obama is just continuing the policies of George W. Bush, and George W. Bush continued, Bill Clinton. To me, they're all one long line of criminals that want to control me.
President Bush had us in the ditch, literally. Myrtle Beach down here, real estate brokers are saying the economy's turned around. There's concrete trucks moving again. There's carpenters working again. There's electricians working again. The economy's turned around from where it was.
Sure.
And I mean, do you think about it from a black man's perspective? Everyone I ever voted for was a white male, period. And the bottom line is where it gets to now, to have a choice or an option of someone else. I voted Republican. I voted Ronald Reagan. I did vote Ronald Reagan. And I listened to the overall views of inclusiveness about anybody. It's one thing to assume a person's thinking something, but it's another thing to actually see them say it and to know the scheme of his father and the scheme of him to deny blacks housing. My grandfather told me yes, and to be sued by the federal government on it. And my grandfather told me about the travels from New York down here, the hotels you weren't allowed to stay in. My father, he died back in 1999. He served in World War II. Lo and behold, when he got out of World War II, he was discriminated when he got back down here. He was beaten.
Jeez.
He was, mobs and all this stuff. It's a reality. It's not a reality check. It's just a stench reality of what's been going on, and for a person to look down upon you for the color. I had a surgery, a reality check for me a few years ago. I had a major surgery, and I thought about it. Wow, this white gentleman's going to do surgery on me. I have no problem. And I looked at the doctor. I said, Doctor, it was a lot of burning going on in different states and shooting and everything. I said, Doc, listen, I'm not down with what's going on, the big racial divide. He looked at me and smiled. He said, why do you say that? And I said, because I don't want to get caught. You're going to put me under. I want you to know that. I want you to give me a fair chance of living. He said, sir, I've taken an oath to save lives, not destroy lives.
Sure.
And if you needed blood right now, you're not going to ask. Right now, I believe in living my life as though it's the last hour or last minute of my life. And if I'm about to die, I'm not going to say, is this heart coming from a white guy, a white woman?
Yeah, that would be ridiculous. We're all people. We're all individuals.
People. Amen.
Hey, James, thanks for sharing your thoughts tonight. I do appreciate it. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. And I wish, that it was more like what he was talking about at the beginning of this call, where people were just respectful towards one another, regardless of where they're from or regardless of the color of their skin.
Yeah, the amount of melanin someone has in their skin shouldn't be a very interesting topic to talk about.
Or the genitalia between their legs.
Yeah.
The toll-free number here tonight, 855-450-FREE. Or their age, 855-450-3733. Moments remain. We'll try to sneak your call and your thoughts in coming up here on Free Talk Live.
Every once in a while, you get information that's worth changing your life for. This is one such time. You can save up to and beyond 25% on all purchases at Amazon. You probably heard of Bitcoin and just not thought much about it. You certainly know that you can get competitive pricing at Amazon, but now you can get a 25% discount on nearly everything you need to live. I've just given you a huge raise, and all you have to do is claim it. You go to saveitpurse.com and open an account. Do this right now. Don't wait. Then you fund the account with Bitcoin. You can buy them through expresscoin.com with a check or money order. There are other ways to get Bitcoin, but that's fast, safe, and easy. This information is worth you changing the way you do things. Go to saveitpurse.com right now, get signed up, and cash in on the huge raise I'm offering you. 15 to 25% off of everything at Amazon through saveitpurse.com. It's saveatpurse.com.
You are what you eat? No, not true. You are what you can absorb, because not absorbing nutrition leads to nutritional deficiency and degenerative diseases. Medication does not fix nutritional deficiencies, and North American soil is now 85% nutritionally depleted. That means your body is not getting the vitamins it needs from just grown foods. Introducing Protovite, the world's first and only full-spectrum protosomal supplement. Protovite is a proprietary liquid system that allows premium quality nutrients to positively affect the blood in an astonishing 5 minutes. That's rapid absorption. Then Protovite liquid continues to release sustained nutrition in the stomach, intestines, and colon over a prolonged period of time. See Protovite in action. Watch our amazing 2-minute live blood cell video today at TrueHealthFacts.com. That's TrueHealthFacts.com, or call 502-410-3411, 502-410-3411. Protovite is nutrition you can feel. Protovite is nutrition that gets in.
Every once in a while, you get information that's worth changing your life for. This is one such time. You can save up to and beyond 25% on all purchases at Amazon. You probably heard of Bitcoin and just not thought much about it. You certainly know that you can get competitive pricing at Amazon, but now you can get a 25% discount on nearly everything you need to live. I've just given you a huge raise, and all you have to do is claim it. You go to saveitpurse.com and open an account. Do this right now. Don't wait. Then you fund the account with Bitcoin. I know this sounds unbelievable, but at my house, we saved as much as 45% off of a new item on Amazon. This information is worth you changing the way you do things. Go to saveitpurse.com right now, get signed up, and cash in on the huge raise I'm offering you. 15 to 25% off of everything at Amazon through saveitpurse.com. It's saveatpurse.com. The 3 most important things you can do for Free Talk Live are: 1, share 1 episode a week on Facebook or in some other social networking site. 2, buy the things you buy online through shop.freetalklive.com. 3, give $5 a month to the AMP program. You likely buy all kinds of things online. Amazon is the largest online retailer. You can get what you need at the same prices with free Super Saver shipping by going to shop.freetalklive.com. Please do your online shopping at shop.freetalklive.com. For Bitcoin to be ubiquitous, people need to use it. For people to use it, they must have it. How can we get Bitcoin into more hands? Tipping. What if you could include a bonus Bitcoin tip along with your regular tip to a server? What if that Bitcoin tip returned to you if unclaimed after 30 days? An attractive business card Bitcoin tip that's easily claimed, gives instructions on wallets and spending, and returns to the tipper if unused. Tip.freetalklive.com. Tip.freetalklive.com.
If you enjoy LRN.FM, please contribute to your favorite shows via their websites and become an amplifier at amp.lrn.fm. That's amp.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. Moments remain here. If you're already on the line, we'll do our best to get you on. If you don't get in tonight, don't worry. We do this show live 7 nights a week. And you can always listen to any show anytime over at freetalklive.com. We got archives that go back for a decade. You can download as much Free Talk Live as you like. So if you're new to the show, check out the website, freetalklive.com. If you like what we're doing, if you like the idea of the ideas of liberty getting on the air here on 160 plus radio stations, on satellite, internationally across sub-Saharan Africa and North and Central America, also our internet streams and our podcasts. We got a lot of different ways for you to listen. If you like what we're doing, though, and you want to help support Free Talk Live, then please become a Free Talk Live amplifier over at amp.freetalklive.com. That's AMP. It stands for Advertise, Market, and Promote. And the idea is to help bring new listeners to this program, get new radio stations on board. You can help us for $5 a month, and you'll get perks like access to the AMP-only call-in lines, the AMP-only Facebook group, which is a lot of fun. There's always fresh posts in there every single day. It's actually one of the best reasons to use Facebook, which normally I wouldn't recommend. But there's also the AMP-only podcast, which doesn't have the regular commercials that our normal podcast does. So you get some perks, all for $5 a month. Please go and sign up with any major credit card through PayPal, Visa, or MasterCard right there on our website. And you can also AMP via Bitcoin now over at amp.freetalklive.com. amp.freetalklive.com. Back to the phones and the fun. It's George listening in Conway, South Carolina. You're on Free Talk Live, George.
Yes. Good evening. How are you? In the dark?
Oh, actually, we're all right because we're up in Keene, New Hampshire. But
you're starting to get some cooler weather. That's nice.
Yes,
okay.
It is very nice.
The leaves are changing.
Yep, it's pretty. Go ahead with your thoughts, George.
Okay, I'd actually like to run this out to the audience just to make them think a little bit. I'm a Trump supporter. I won't say he was always my first choice, but he's the choice that I have to vote for with my conscience. And again, if you don't register to vote, do not complain. You don't have a voice. You lost it. You gave it away.
Well, that's look.
They tell you can't complain if you do vote, and they tell you can't complain if you don't vote. I figure people are going to complain anyway.
One of the nice things about being here is we can complain.
But they don't have the right. They gave up the right. Anyway.
That's poppycock. All right, go
under
ahead.
Secretary Clinton's administration as Secretary of State, how many people died in Iraq and Syria, Benghazi especially, due to the failed programs that were set in motion by her administration?
Well, I wouldn't be able to answer that question.
I couldn't either. It's probably beyond our comprehension now.
Well, I know that governments in general have been responsible for the deaths of millions of innocent people over, was it hundreds of millions of innocent people over the last 100 or so, 200 years or whatever. Regardless, governments are the biggest cause of a lot of their own people's death.
That I tend to agree. But the leaders have the jurisdiction over it. The 3 o'clock phone call came, and she wasn't there. Now, my next question is this. Donald has made some crude and lewd comments that I agree with. But how many people have actually died as a result of those comments?
Excellent question, George. Thanks for your call tonight. Appreciate it. Let's continue here with John, listening in Indiana to WIBC. Go ahead, John.
No hurricane up here.
Not yet.
But, I've been a lifelong Republican, sir. I'm getting ready to become probably an independent. And it's not that I'm crazy about Trump, but I can tell you this. What makes me sick is the hypocrisy that these Clinton people have. If she was so appalled by Donald Trump's comments that came out that he made 11 years ago, why did she have her husband out on the campaign trail who literally acted out those comments? I don't recall all through the years Trump has been with his business as a rash of sexual harassment suits or anything like that on him at all. But her husband took advantage of a young intern right in the White House as a standing president. I really don't think Trump is going to do that. His mouth is his biggest problem. But here he is running around. He's had accusations of rape on him and all kinds of stuff. He's had a history clear back to Arkansas of acting this stuff out. And she's content to have him out on the campaign trail. She don't seem to be appalled of a person actually acting it out. He's going to be right back in the White House, the first man.
John, thanks for sharing your thoughts tonight, man. I appreciate it. We'll continue here with Robert in Charleston, listening to WTMA. Hey, Robert, you're on the air.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Welcome to Free Talk Live. Go ahead.
Hey, I just want to let you guys know that down here in Charleston, it was just boring until I found your show on the radio.
All you got to hear about was the hurricane.
Well, we heard about it all day, and then at 6 o'clock, they went back to regular programming, and then we haven't heard a thing about it. And we were trying to get an update on where it was at and what it was doing. And we couldn't get any of that information. And finally, when I went across your show, the people in Myrtle Beach were talking about their situation, and it's the same here. We've got hundreds of thousands of people without power.
Wow.
Everybody's listening to their radio because no one has power and internet. All we have is our phones and battery-operated radios.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got to say that all the calls this evening has really made the show go by quickly. So thanks.
Yeah, really quickly. I didn't think I was going to get on the air, but the people from the power company, just so that the people in South Carolina that might be listening, they are starting with the hospital areas in your city, and they're expanding along the major highways because that's the way the power runs. And they've got 1,800 people from here in South Carolina and people from other states that are going to be hitting the road tomorrow.
All right.
So
Well,
people
thank
get
you.
power back. But hey, I'd like to tell you, I'm going to vote for Trump, and I couldn't vote for Hillary if I had to. We just had too many Clintons. Look how quick Jeb Bush got out of the race. People are tired of these dynasties.
Yeah.
We want something new, and we want an outsider, a businessman, and that's what's happening.
Robert,
And
thanks for your update,
also,
man.
Hey,
Yep, real quick.
Hey, I just want to ask you a quick question. Because of the hurricane, we haven't heard what happened with Donald Trump. All we heard was there was some kind of tape. What actually was
11
what
years
happened?
ago, apparently he said some unsavory things about his ability to,
Because he's a star, he could just walk up to a woman and grab her in the P being a
crotch area.
A crotch area.
And it was, it's an unsavory thing to say, but it to me, it sounded like locker room talk. If 11 years ago he was behaving like this, and one would presume before that, then this was right about the time he got married, by the way. So maybe let's assume this occurred before his marriage. If it occurred at all, then you would hear people saying, hey, Donald Trump grabbed my crotch.
He actually said at one point in that audio, Mark, did you actually listen to the audio clip?
I read the transcript, and I did hear some of the audio.
He did say at one point that his wife was totally fine with it.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I did read that too,
believe that he has done the things that he's talking about. But regardless, Robert, thanks for the call,
I
man.
don't believe
Appreciate it.
his wife is fine with anything, and the fact that he said it says
You don't
to
think
me that he
she
doesn't do
doesn't
it.
know he's into other women? I mean,
Sure,
here he
he's
is talking with.
He's 70.
CNN.com has him, in interviews with Howard Stern. Now, this is fresh news coming out here tonight, talking about having threesomes with his wife. So, I mean, obviously
Just
they're
talking.
not exclusive.
I don't believe it for a second. Here's your hurricane update.
Well, why don't you believe it? I mean, he's incredibly wealthy. There are a lot of women who will be more than happy to have sex with an incredibly wealthy and powerful man. And it's probably true of some men, too.
Fine.
So, I mean, why would you disbelieve him on these claims?
Threesomes are pretty rare.
Let's
unless
go
it's
to
a pornographic.
You're not Donald Trump.
It's true.
Why
I'm
don't
not.
why don't you get $1 billion and then see how rare they are?
Does he have $1 billion?
I don't know. Let's go to Eric. A few million's probably enough.
Yeah, Norfolk's getting pounded right now, by the way.
Eric, you're on Free Talk Live, listening to WIBC. Go ahead.
Hello, guys.
Hey, Eric. Go ahead with your thoughts.
Hey, I sat on hold for so long. I'm sitting here wondering what my thoughts are. But I appreciate you guys. I've been on about a 2-hour drive. Been listening to you guys. It's been a lot of fun. Kind of feel sorry for you guys. You've had to field so many political questions, but it is that time of year.
That's all right.
I guess a little help for me. I'm a conservative at heart. I'm not sure that a conservative can win the presidency ever again, the way this country seems to be bent. And just a little help. I'm not so foolish as to think that anything anybody's talking about in politics is really what's going on. And I consider myself somewhat informed, but I just feel myself at a loss. I would love to vote for Gary Johnson if I thought he had a snowball's chance in heck.
Wait a second.
Okay,
Let me address that issue because I think that's really, really important.
That's
a lot
the
of
last
people
thing we
think
can
the
address.
same thing. The fact is that your vote isn't going to make the difference in your state. So you might as well vote your heart because that's all that matters. Your one vote is the one vote is what people win by, and the chance of you winning by one vote is larger than the chance of you winning the lotto.
If everybody actually followed their heart and what it was that they thought was the right thing to vote for, then maybe he would have a chance. Thanks, Eric. We'll see you tomorrow night online. In the meantime, freetalklive.com.
Money, power, and respect are all yours at CreditSuccessSecretsRevealed.com. Be seen as an industry leader. You can do it. The last application you filled out when it was time to hit submit, did your nerves spike? You didn't get the approval you seek, but there's a better way. We teach you exactly what to place into the right systems, the right way, the first time, so you get approved. Get up to $100,000 in instant business credit. Many people will get cash on the spot. Use those two tools in your new corporate credit engine so you can walk into the bank and get your project funded today. It's all about today at CreditSuccessSecretsRevealed.com. Credit Success Secrets Revealed is explosive and ignites instant results. Dial 1-800-707-8719. That's 1-800-707-8719. 1-800-707-8719. Or just go to CreditSuccessSecretsRevealed.com.
We've all heard about blockchain assets like Dogecoin, Ether, and Ripple. Bitcoin isn't the only player in the blockchain game any longer. And for those of us wondering how to get our hands on these digital assets, finally, there's a solution. Shapeshift.io allows you to buy and sell between your digital assets and Bitcoin instantly between your own digital wallets. I've used it with ease. Shapeshift.io. There's no account or email address needed. You send them the crypto you want to sell. They send back the crypto you want to buy. It's that easy. Shapeshift.io.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com. You can get emailed announcements and participate in contests via our email updates list. Plus, we have a Twitter account that you can follow and a Facebook page where you can become a fan. So visit news.freetalklive.com to get news about Free Talk Live as soon as it's announced and the way you want it delivered at news.freetalklive.com. That's news.freetalklive.com.
The live edition of Off the Air Live is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network, LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Saturday, October 8th, 2016. Silver is trading at $17.56 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,257 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $621. Antiwar.com reports former employees of Yahoo have corroborated this week's stories about the company scanning all emails coming into the servers on behalf of the NSA, saying that the email scanner software was not Yahoo built, but actually made and installed by the U.S. government. The employees included at least one of Yahoo's own internal security team, reported finding the software on the email server and believed they were being hacked before executives informed them that the government had done it. They described the software as a broader rootkit that could give